Yeah, we're just going to record before we do our preamble, because our preamble is always the stuff that we really want to talk about. I see you're at your new desk here. Let's start over. You're at your new desk. Wow.
I'm at my new desk. My new chair.
Yes, your new chair.
Where did this chair come from?
My bedroom.
Some nice guy named Josh was like, "Hey, do you need a chair?"
Is it okay? It's not great. I mean, it's okay, but it's not.
It's much better than what I was using, which is
I guess that's fair, yeah.
The chair out of a 1998 Oldsmobile Aurora. I think it was Aurora. I don't remember. Yeah, I think it's Aurora.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one had seen better days.
It was like, but it sounds super comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, it was getting uncomfortable, and I think it has completely to do with the keyboard tray.
Okay.
The old one. So the keyboard tray was really long and like had contours for your legs, so it could get really close, and your hands could be down low, which is supposed to be comfortable.
More ergonomic. It was
comfortable, but it always creaked, and it bothered me. And it was like clearly taken out of a school, so it had like marker on it and paint on it and stuff. So I never liked it. I always wanted to replace it. So I found 3 separate ones: thrift store, and then Facebook Marketplace. And bought all of them, and none of them were great. So I just picked the best one and started using that. And ever since then, I've been uncomfortable at my desk.
No.
So this is the new solution.
What is the new solution? Tell people the new solution is.
Yes, the new solution is this.
I hope people can hear the
It's
the
really
whir.
good for the podcast.
I heard the whir, but I don't know if anyone else is hearing the whir.
It's a standing desk.
You could stand up podcast now.
I could stand up podcast now. Yeah.
Wow.
I could do that anytime. It would just be.
But now it's like better than just looking at your crotch for 3 hours.
But I'm gonna sit because I've been doing enough today. I'm tired.
So tell us about the deal. Tell us about the desk deal.
The desk. So this guy, his name was not English, but he had the ad listed as need to sell by Monday, moving out of the country. And it's a motorized standing desk, which as far as I can find, it's worth like $600. I don't know if that's Canadian or American. If it's American, that's even more of a deal. But I've seen them for easily $300 is like, you could find that any day for one like this.
Yeah.
This one's particularly deep, which is nice. But he had it for $300 and he had lowered it to $250. And I guess he probably lowered it closer to the date he has to go. So I offered on the Friday, I said, I could pick it up today if you'll take $100. And a couple hours went by, he didn't answer. So I'm like, whatever, not going to happen. So then the next morning he says, $150, sure. So I said, sure, I'll take it. So when I on Sunday, yes, on Sunday I picked it up.
Okay.
After the move with the kids.
After the move with the kids. Yeah.
I talked about that. I haven't talked about that.
We haven't talked about that because it just happened yesterday.
Yeah. I think I told you about that. Anyway, so the desk, $150. I already had all the mounts for the monitors because I was using them on my other desk, like my custom made desk. So I just put them back the way they came, like with like a clamp to go on the desk.
Yeah.
Like it screws in really tight. Before on my desk, I had like threaded rod going through because that's much stronger. And it was metal, so I could just drill wherever. I don't really want to drill through this wooden desk. I don't have to. So
no.
Last night, I think it was. Yeah, last night, Sunday, I was putting this thing together. Tore apart my whole desk before getting the new one, taking apart everything. So I have my computer and my son's computer both hooked up at the same time. And then I had 6 VCRs hooked up to the 2 of them. So it was a lot to take apart. I don't even know what else. Like I got capture cards and then I had it all set up so I could record video games from over there or stream video games from over the other side of the room. So needs to be all hooked up again still.
Yeah.
And then VR area as well. So PC VR, I have to hook all that back up. The antenna's hooked up but not mounted. And yeah, it's a change because it's been the way it had been for like 8 years or so.
Wow.
So, changing it all up. Now this chair creaks. Josh.
You're welcome. That's one of the reasons. So I had it for my wife because my wife is working from home, and so that was the chair that I found in the garbage and brought it home for her, and she was using it for a while. Then she was working from home. She was using that chair, and she's like, I can't stand it. It creaks too much. So she was like, okay. So I found another one in the garbage. It doesn't creak, but it doesn't recline at all.
Oh, okay.
But she likes to sit up straight anyway, so it works for her. We have that extra.
I haven't played with that yet. I tried it once, and I'm like, oh, is that too far? I'll have to see when I get the desk, so it reclines back like that.
Yeah, that one reclines and everything.
Lock it reclined.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's comfortable or not. It is supposed to be more ergonomic. It's supposed to be.
Mine's locked right now. Like if I wasn't recording, I'd be fully reclined. But
yeah, maybe that's what I need to do.
Here I am. I'm just reclined a little bit just to bring my head down closer to the microphone.
Mm-hmm. Your microphone's on an arm, you know that, right?
I know, but this way it's like I can still relax and put my feet up. I have an ottoman under my desk, so I can put my feet up at all times. So it's great.
As people do, right? Ottoman.
Yeah, why not? So
yeah. So you can't see the pile of mess behind me of unorganized things that came off the desk and need to find a new home.
Don't even look at my room. That is just everything messed. Did I show you that thing?
This weird gun thing you've got back there?
Yeah, it's a light gun, but it's a Xbox Kinect light gun.
I think I did see that existed, but I've never seen it for a deal.
Yeah. I found it at Value Village.
Cabela, right?
Cabela's, yeah.
Yeah, that's the one I remember seeing.
Yeah.
I've looked for it, and I think I've seen it maybe on Facebook once and just missed out on it. But
okay. I found it in the toy section at Value Village. So they just thought it was like a
nice
toy gun, which is what it is.
There's no dongle because it's Kinect or because
it's Kinect, yeah. So it just hooks up via the Kinect or whatever, and it's got like lights on it. It looks like a move controller, like 3 move controllers. It's got the light sensors on it.
Oh, okay.
So, but I don't have the game for it. I got to find the game, the Kinect Cabela's game. It's not hard to find.
Too hard, yeah. Okay.
I just haven't paid for it on eBay.
So. Yeah, now I'm curious if I've ever had it, but I doubt it. It only works with Kinect?
As far as I know, yeah.
Okay.
But anything will be better than... I had the Cabela's like African Adventures game. And you know me, like, you know how much I like my light gun games. And I was like, oh, this will be fun. And we played it for an hour or two maybe, but it's to the point where like you have to walk around using the gun to walk around.
Oh.
You have to drive cars using the gun, and you have to shoot animals using the gun. And I was like, this is not the game for me. So I sold it.
The one you're looking for is Big Game Hunting Party.
Mm-hmm.
It's $15 Canadian complete without the gun.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's $50 with the gun. So, I mean.
Yeah, the gun's worth a good chunk.
Yeah.
Definitely worth the $5 I paid for it.
Yeah. It's fun to find something in the toy section that wasn't supposed to be there.
Yeah. Okay, so I don't do... Hold on, let me check something before I just start something.
Sure, you just start rambling.
I'll just start rambling, and then you can fill in some dead air for me.
That's what I'm doing. Then I'm like, well, I could just tell another story, but then that's me to me. It's just too much me. No one wants that much. Not even me.
Not even you. Anyways, it's been over a year. So I remember we talked about this weekend, but it's been over a year since I put up a YouTube video. My last video I put up,
yeah,
my last video I put up was July 10th, 2020. And so I have been putting like, sometimes when I get something, I do like a pickup post on Twitter, because that's like where you get like instant gratification.
Yeah. Or none.
Yeah. But anyways, I figured, seeing as we're talking about Value Village now, I have a few things that I picked up, and I'm gonna do a little pickup section in our podcast. I can just show a few things off.
I see. That'll be great for the audio listeners.
I will describe, because I think some people will find it interesting. Okay. And you can also describe as well what you see and ask questions, and that will help our audio listeners feel like they're watching a video. You know what I mean?
Just waving his hands.
Acting like a crazy man. I bought a VHS.
Gasp.
I know. Crazy, right? But one that I've never seen before, it's Batman Volume 1. Have you seen this? It's like original Batman. Like not even, that's Batman, like before Adam West.
Before Adam West, okay. I've heard of it, like just recently.
Have you? Okay.
So it's got yellow writing and it's got like pink writing.
Pink, yeah.
And then the original come out of smoke.
It says the original serial adventures of Batman, Volume 1. Chapter 1, The Electrical Brain. Chapter 2, The Bat's Cave. Anyway, there's seven things on there with Lewis Wilson. I don't know. That's probably who
plays Batman. Here.
It is 1943, copyright, renewed 1971. So it's an oldie. I just thought I found it interesting.
Yeah. It's in color.
Is it?
When I search this, everything's black and white. So I don't know.
Yeah, I was going to say everything should be black and white.
Yeah, that's like
that's for Bill. Bill will enjoy
1943. The Batman 1943 trailer. Lewis Wilson and Douglas Croft.
Yeah, sounds like that
on YouTube. Yeah.
So. And then I also found a 3D Blu-ray. Cha-ching, cha-ching. The Croods. Brand new sealed 3D Blu-ray.
I've never watched that movie.
I haven't either. But I might now.
It's the butt of a lot of jokes, and I'm just curious if it's because it's bad or...
I don't know. Maybe because it's crude. And then garbage finds. You ready for some garbage finds?
Sure, I'm sitting on one.
It's true. A pop figure. I found Lara Croft.
Oh, in the box.
In the box. This is like from the new movies. Like those ones. Or not movies, sorry, the new games.
Yeah, games.
The Square Enix games. Crystal Dynamics. So
I played some of one of them.
I played the first one, it's really good. I haven't played the second or third.
I don't remember which one I played. Probably the third, I think.
And then I found Dying Light, the following for Xbox One, the enhanced edition.
Oh.
Which I believe has the DLC on it as well.
Interesting. Not bad for free.
Not bad for free. It is in there. I'm not just pulling cases out, by the way. And ready for the best find?
Earthbound?
Can you imagine? I found a Vita.
Oh, a Vita. That ain't half bad.
No. So it works, except there's no sound.
Oh. Weird.
Which is a bit odd. I tried to reset. I tried to fix a few things, like software-wise. Right? Pardon?
You tried turning the volume up?
Yeah, turn the volume up. In it came there's a game.
Oh, nice.
It is a Lego Batman 2.
Okay.
Just a game.
Probably all right.
It's probably okay. And also came with an 8 gigabyte memory card.
Yeah.
Which is like
common enough,
30 bucks by themselves for that. Yeah. So, because they're proprietary. There you go. Yeah. That's my pickup section. Not too long, short and sweet.
Yeah. Got to figure out that sound issue. Have you tried Googling it at all?
Yep. Those were all the fixes I tried. So I might end up just taking it to, I don't know, Good Time Games. Be like, hey, Mr. Electrical Guy.
Yeah.
There's another place even further down, another electrical repair place. I could take it there too. I don't know what the rates are.
If it's just the sound that's bad, then chances are it's not like water damage, but it could still be. But otherwise, it could just be a blown speaker. But
yeah, it could be. Who knows?
That'd be easy enough if you can.
It is, by the way, the 1001 model.
So the not OLED, right?
No, it is the OLED.
Oh, it is the OLED. Sorry, they got rid of the OLED.
They got rid of the OLED for the newer models. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I checked my email like 3 weeks ago now, I think it was, and I got an email from TeePublic saying they have updated their Google Analytics plugin or like abilities. I totally forgot they had Google Analytics on TeePublic when you have shirts for sale on TeePublic. So I thought immediately Shark shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it selling? So I went through all the analytics to try and figure out why it's selling. And I can see that the source of the 73,000 views that shirt has is Facebook.
Really?
So TeePublic must have been paying ads.
Yeah.
And my shirt was for some reason featured. I still don't know why, but it keeps happening because I keep getting a sale every once in a while. Yeah.
That's funny. We need some not so special shirts. Work on those.
That's easy to do. We just need people to buy them. And
I'll buy one. I want one for me.
I bought my own podcast t-shirt before and I do not wear it because that's a level of narcissism I just don't have.
I would wear it just because I don't want ours to be like super obvious. Like I don't want them to say podcast or anything on them. I just like
not so special with the star.
Or just a half star on it, so people have to ask you what it is. It's not super obvious what it is. Yeah. That's my kind of shirt.
It's pretty easy.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
What else have you done?
Ooh, okay. Well, this moves into other things that I've done as well. But I went camping.
Yeah.
For a week.
I heard.
Yeah. It was quite eventful and relaxing at the same time. There was so we went up to Inver It's very hard to say that word fast. I want to say Inver, but it's Inver Huron. Yeah.
Not hard for me. I've been here in that place my entire life.
Yeah, shut up. Yeah, so that's like a provincial park. So we went with my wife's family, extended family, or her brothers. She has 2 brothers, so their families only came for 1 night or 2 nights, and then went home.
Sister-in-law's there?
Pardon?
Was your favorite sister-in-law there?
My favorite sister-in-law is there. Also, by the way, it's been a year since the incident. We are still not talking.
Good to know.
Good to know. Yeah. I don't want to say I offered like a peace thing, but like there was a beer offered and I took it, and then she's like, "Oh, I wanted a beer." So I said, "Oh, here, you can have this one." And then she said no. So
wow.
Yeah. Take that as you will. But yeah, so we were in our tent, and like I said, we're like full glampers now, right? We sleep on cots. We're not on air mattresses anymore. I bring fans. I bring, extension cords into the tent, so I have electricity, all that kind of stuff. I'm not sitting sweating in a hot tent anymore.
Being an experienced camper at this
point. Well, that's part of the reason like everybody left, because they were all sitting in their tents at night, sweating with crappy air mattresses that lost air in the night, which my wife's older brother is also a very experienced camper, but he had air mattresses go flat in the middle of the night, and he was stuck dealing with it. And I was like, well, and then everybody left because they're just like, everyone's just miserable.
And that's when the trip became fun. Is that what you're saying?
What was that?
When everybody else left is when the trip became fun?
Yes. Yeah, there was a little bit less tension in the air, you could say, and it was fun. We're right on Lake Huron, and we brought my mother and father-in-law have like one of those like foam lily pads that's like 12 feet long by 6 feet wide, that kind of thing. It's super flotation. You just lay it on the water, and everybody can just pile on it. It can't sink, basically. But if you do it on the waves, the whole thing is like going up and down with the waves as well. Okay. If you're at the front, it'll basically bowl you over, and if you're at the back, it whips you and throws you up in the air because it's so long. Anyways, so the first day we were there, the first full day we were there, we took the lily pad out to the beach, and sure enough, all the kids just on this thing, and there was some pretty decent waves coming, and these kids are 12 and under, 10 and under, and yeah, these waves are just throwing these kids around their lily pad, and they're just having a ball. And then I went and laid on it, and I was getting whipped around too. So it's fun. That's the way to do it. If you can get a lily pad, or if you need to borrow a lily pad, I have one. But good. I watched a lot of movies and I played some games there, but I'll leave that for later. But
sure.
It's good.
You may have seen, or you did see, and others may have seen, but I was fighting some wasps.
Yes, we saw the wasps, the wasp nest on Twitter, on X.
Yeah, on X. Yeah. Now it sounds like we're doing ecstasy.
Oh.
So I noticed that there were a ton of wasps flying into this like section of the roof of my house. And I just stood there watching them. I'm like, this is not good. That is a lot going in there. Like, you stand there for 5 seconds, you'll see 4 fly in. And I don't see them leaving either, which is weird, but maybe they had a different exit. I still don't know. I don't think they did. Anyway, either way, I decided it was war. So I went to Canadian Tire and I picked up some spray. I already had 1 can of spray that I stood there and sprayed at them with. It was just a one shot, like shoot far away stuff. And I took out tons of them and there was still tons coming. So I went to go get more of that. And then I did some more research, stood there killing them for 2 more cans, just tons of them, just kill them. And they just keep coming. So I then called my mom just to be like, what do you think? Do you know anything about these? I also opened up the light fixture right above the porch of our house because that's the only way to see where they were crawling into, which I've never looked in there before. But I got my phone in there on video mode, turned on the flashlight, and just stuck it up there and recorded a little video, bring it down. Like, holy crap, that's a lot of them. And a huge nest. It was like almost 1.5 feet across and maybe 7-8 inches tall, just like a cylinder type shape, but like still a normal wasp nest. But it was just like against the inside of the roof in there.
Yeah.
So I talked to my mom and she said you can get this foam spray that you just spray the nest when they're all in there at night, and the foam kills them instantly and it stays there for a while. So if any more show up or they try and escape, it'll kill them. So I looked at Canadian Tire. It was already like 5 o'clock at night and they closed at 6 or something like that on the last Sunday, I think it was. And then I remembered that our friend Frantic, Josh, also
Josh
is a pest killer for a job. So I messaged him for his opinion as well. At the same time, I went and got what I thought I'd need from my mom because the Canadian Tire was closing and I wouldn't be able to do it that night if I didn't do it right then. While I was there, he messaged me back and basically just said the exact same things my mom had said, which was nice because he's a freaking professional, right? Yeah. So he said, get the foam stuff, coat the nest, do it at night when they're all asleep. I checked Google just to figure out like what the best time was. It basically just said dawn and whatever, sunrise, sunset kind of thing.
Dusk and dawn,
Dusk and dawn, yeah. So double checked what time that would be estimated, and then kept checking on the nest as it was getting later and later. And when I found it was time, I also actually set up a Raspberry Pi on a battery pack and put it up there so I could live watch them from my phone.
Yeah, fair enough.
So I did that as well because I've done that once before. We had a bird's nest in our backyard last year. So I set up a camera for the exact same thing, but to watch the birds and to get an idea when the nest was empty so the kids could go play in the playground again because they were set up in the playground. So anyway, I've had an idea how to do it pretty quickly already. So I watched them when they were settled down and it was late. I went up there with my phone as a light and just started blasting the spray. And it was not as hard as I would have thought, actually. None of them came out. I stopped them in their tracks. Like they all just died. And then I sprayed the outside as well in case any more came. Then I got up in the morning and double checked on it, sprayed the outside because I still saw some coming in. Much slower, but still saw some coming in. Josh had said for up to 5 days they could still be coming back to the nest because they just may have been out for the night,
stragglers or whatever.
Yeah. So he said that's not uncommon. So I just kept watching it for the next several days, and there was one time I think the next day around noon or so, I looked and there was like 10 of them looked like they were rebuilding the nest or something because they were in there stationary. So I'm not sure what they were doing exactly, but oh no, sorry, I totally forgot. Before all that, I kept spraying. That's what it was. I kept spraying before I saw those ones trying to rebuild the nest. I kept spraying for 2 days and the entrance and the nest itself until I didn't see any more coming. And then I shop vacced the nest out.
Okay, good. I was going to ask if you left it in there.
Because the larva was in there. But aside from that, it was fine. And it was also wet from all the spray. So that was fun. I cleaned my shop vac after. I just bagged up all the nest crap and threw it in a garbage bag. And luckily that was garbage day. So threw that all out. And that's when the next day I saw some trying to rebuild it or something, or just hanging out in the shell of the nest. Because I couldn't get all of it. It's right against the plywood, as well as, you know, those foam tunnels they use to let it ventilate.
Yeah.
So there's one of those going right through the middle of their nest as well.
Okay.
So that I couldn't get anything off of that either. So basically got a ton of the nest, but not the top part of it.
Yeah, yeah.
But I got all the eggs or the larvae and crap. So anyway, after that was when they were trying to redo it. I blasted them that one time with foam, the entrance again as well, and then left it, and I saw no more come back, like, at all. So closed it all up, and I think we're all good.
Nice.
Yeah, I hope so anyway, because I don't want to take that light out again.
No. Did you? So, yeah, I've never had to deal with wasps, thankfully. So,
yeah.
Just
the last time I had
when
wasps,
we go camping. That's it.
The last time I had wasps or ran into wasps, I was mowing the lawn, and there was literally a wasp nest at eye level in the tree that I didn't catch because I was focused on the lawn, and I walked my face directly into it. Yikes. And then got attacked by about 10 of them. Oof. So I had like stings all over my head.
Yikes.
And they went away after a day or so, but then I took the pressure washer to the nest. Payback. Yeah.
I've had a wasp fly into my helmet when I was riding my motorcycle and because of the wind, it got jammed between my cheek and the helmet padding. Nice. So it just sat there and just kept stinging my cheek in the same spot. That was great. And I was on my way to work. Pardon?
And then you pulled over?
And but I had to keep my cool because I'm on a motorcycle, and I had to
tip over. Yeah.
Yeah. And pull over to the side, just deal with the pain, and then reach in with my glove and just flick it out. And and then I had to go to work, and my face was all like puffy.
Were you working at the hospital at the time? Because that'd be kind of ironic.
That would have been funny. Yeah. No, I was working in a warehouse. I was just like, don't look at me. Just go hide in a corner. Yeah. Good. Yeah, not crazy. Yeah.
So
are we?
I have more things.
Go for it. Sounds like you've had way more eventful month than I have.
Time too, so that's fun.
Yeah.
Not laid off as in I'm going back to work. Laid off as in let go because they don't have enough work or enough money, whatever. So I'm just searching for jobs, and I am like, I have a spreadsheet of the jobs. I don't know if I mentioned that already. The jobs I've applied for. So we are up to 118 jobs applied for. Jeez. 28 no's back, and 3 that I'm interviewing for. I think one of those is technically not interviewing anymore because it was a teaching job at a local college, and they said yes, but they don't have any positions that work with having a job. They only have slots left for like 3 to 5 p.m. or 3 to 6 p.m. So, and it's also only 4 hours a week. So it'd
be fine as a side hustle, but not a full-time job.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's what a friend of mine had suggested it because he had done it as a side hustle. So yeah. So there's that.
Fun. And how close are you in the interview process? Still not.
Well, that's the thing. I have 2 of them. One of them where I interviewed backwards because somebody I knew the hiring director. So he suggested me. The director contacted me on LinkedIn. We start talking. He says, "Great. I'll put you in touch with HR and they can start the formal stuff. Talk to HR. And she says, well, he's doing everything backwards. So normally you'd talk to him next, but now it's on me. So I'll go figure out what has to happen because I had worked at that company before. I left on good terms, but they just need to look into what they need to do. Probably like reactivate my old account or something like that. Whatever it has to be for rehiring. And I never heard back after that. So I followed up with him and he said, oh, it's just taking a long time. And then I followed up with her because I got an email from the company saying, the job you applied for, different job title, we're not considering you for. I'm like, well, is that a glitch in their system? Did it mean to do that? Was it meant to go to someone else? Was it meant to be for this job? I don't know. So I just messaged the HR person on LinkedIn to be like, hey, I got this. Is this meaning the job I applied for? Or is this a mistake? And she never replied back. It was kind of just an excuse to try and get a dialogue going with her. But I also got referred by another person that works there as well, because I know a ton of people who work there. And he just talked to the hiring manager director guy on last Tuesday, and the guy said, okay, I'll set up the next set of interviews with Derek. But never heard anything back.
That was it.
So. And then the other one I have is a partner of the place I was just working. So that's all going through documentation to make sure there's no competing or conflict of interest or NDA risks. So once that's all done, which I would have thought it would have been done last week, then they say they're giving me an offer, but I haven't seen anything yet. And I emailed the guy on, when was that? This morning. I emailed the guy this morning just to say, hey, I don't know if you need anything else from me, but
let's get this ball rolling.
Yeah. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
And that one's going to mean travel if I do take it. So
yeah. That's okay. Can be.
And that was
okay.
Part of the reason for getting this new desk was I figured if I get a work from home job, I want to be comfortable. And from what I looked up for positions in terms of like physical comfort and physically not causing strain on your body, the best thing to do is changing your position periodically.
Yeah.
It used to be like, you sit with 90-degree bends in your knees, 90-degree bend in your back, and your tailbone.
Sit up straight. Yeah.
And then they started saying 135 degrees. So leaning back was actually better, but then your monitors have to be further back or bigger or whatever else. So anyway, all that's all now like considered not accurate, and changing position is more important.
In 5 years, it'll be different anyway. So
yeah, it'll probably be inverted, right?
Yeah. You should be working upside down. Yeah.
Yep.
It increases the blood flow to your brain so you can work harder. And
So another thing I went through was the company I got laid off from. In part of laying you off, they give a package where they give a third-party company that helps coach you on getting a job.
Oh,
and that was kind of a neat experience I had never had before. So it's like they took forever to get a hold of me. And then when they finally do, they say, go to our website, create your profile, upload your resume, check out all our resources. And there's some stuff there that's useful, but for the most part, anything they were suggesting, I'm already doing. So I made some tweaks to my resume, but nothing too major. Some of the stuff I still resist doing, like customizing the resume for every single job.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. That's just my experience is my experience. If you don't like it, then you're not going to hire me anyway.
Yeah.
So, so anyway, I had 3 phone calls with this company as well. One to just introduce me and then let them know where I am and them give suggestions. And then another one was like a resume review where it was just me, that girl, and 2 other people in the same situation as me. And we all just ask her questions. And then the third one was my like, you're done now type call. And this is the last interview with her to figure out if I have any questions left and how I've done in terms of progress. So, yeah. So neat that it's offered.
I was gonna say,
kind of useless, but also if I hadn't been prepared and already had done so much research on my own the day I got let go, then it would have been really helpful.
Yeah, I've never heard of that being a thing either. Like every time I've heard of someone being let go, it's just like, well, see ya. Like,
so the one guy that got let go, or the one guy that was in the resume interview thing, was from Rogers. He had got let go by Rogers.
Okay.
So I guess they do it as well. And the other guy was some company who does advertising sales for what was it? Pinterest Pinterest. So that was the two other guys. So I guess a bunch of companies do it now. I had never heard of it before, but
yeah.
Kind of like the counseling so you don't go crazy kind of thing. Just cover their butts and
we can say that we helped
a little bit of money at the problem. Yeah, exactly.
Make us look better.
Yeah.
Fun.
So I also, since you didn't think you had anything else, I also switched to releasing YouTube videos daily.
Oh yes, your commercials.
Yes, the commercials that I do. So I started doing daily somewhere in the middle of was it August? I said, yeah, middle of August, near the beginning of August, and I've been doing that ever since. And I mean, it seems like my numbers are going up in terms of like subscribers, views. But I don't know if it's just the content that I've put out is more something that gets attention, or if something's caused them to get attention. Like one of them is a WB Kids like ad, and it got 749 views so far, and every video around it has like 30. And then the one after that is secret antiperspirant, stop checking, as in stop checking your armpits.
Stop checking your armpits, yeah.
And that one has 310, but everything else is way lower. So I don't know if there's something specific about those videos that got them to be shared somewhere or something like that, or if it's coincidence, or if it's because I've been putting out more content. I don't know for sure.
It's probably a mix of both, right? Yeah. Like the more you post, the more you're likely to get seen.
Yeah. And then I also released the chat that I'm in with the local guy that records tapes and puts stuff on YouTube as well. They were talking about how YTV is going to have their anniversary. Like I think it was their 30th anniversary soon. And they talked about remastering a bunch of their bumpers, like those weird and all those weird bumpers.
Yeah, I love those bumpers.
I took a bunch of them that I had and posted them all at one time. I think I posted 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 of them all at one time. And those have quite a few views as well. So I'm not sure what caused them to get attention, but interesting.
Nostalgia is a hell of a drug.
There's actually likes and dislikes you can see as the content creator, and those ones that have a lot of views have a lot more higher dislike ratio. It's only
you wonder why. What do people get from disliking?
Yeah, it's a commercial from the 90s. What do you want from me?
I don't like that you put this video up.
Yeah, exactly. If you don't like the commercial, just watch a different one.
I don't like that you made me click on this.
Yeah, I forced you. Or some people actually commented on one of my videos. It looks like YouTube was recommending it a lot, and the one guy commented saying, "Why is this recommended to me?" And it was like a Dodge commercial. He was very angry that it was recommended to him, though.
How dare you, Derek?
Yep, me personally. Yeah, I did it.
You specifically picked him out and put your video in his feed. What a guy. Yeah. Well, I went to the theater. Surprise, surprise.
So I heard you went to the theater.
Do you know which movie I went to go see?
You told me more than one.
Did I?
Them? Yeah. Should I start naming them?
Sure.
Oppenheimer.
Well, these are all last month. What about?
Was it last month? Oh,
yeah. We talked about Oppenheimer last month.
Your good point. I did just listen to that. Not. That's why funny. You told me recently, but no, you didn't.
I did tell you recently. Yeah, technically.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's straight up Inception right there.
Yeah, I forgot. I was also distracted by the movie that I mentioned I saw, but I didn't tell anyone. But anyway, okay. You go.
I went to go see the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie.
You told me you were going to do that.
Yeah, I did tell you I was going to. Yeah. I went with the family. Decided I was going to take the boys, but then my wife was like,
family or your own?
Yeah, just mine. Yeah. So, yeah, my wife decided she would come and have a look. This is going to be my bad dad story. You know, this makes me look like a bad parent. In the future, when my son hears this, if he ever does, he'll be like, I remember that day. So my boys were being very disruptive this day. Like we had told them in the morning, okay, we're going to go to a movie, and we made like a little guessing game out of it, and they finally figured out, okay, we figured out what movie we're going to go see. Mm-hmm. My wife had some errands to run, and then she had to go out, and my kids were just causing a terror in the house. And I was getting more and more frustrated with what was going on. And then they started like talking back and saying some bad words. And I'm just like, what are we? And I had already bought the tickets online.
Of course.
Right? Because you have to these days.
Yep.
And at one point, my oldest son tells my youngest son, because my wife had left and he didn't know, like I was in the bathroom, but I could hear him talking to my youngest son. And he said, you tell mommy when she comes home that she's being a stupid girl.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. And I'm just like, oh, so not only are you using stupid, which we don't allow our kids to use stupid right now because they don't understand what it means.
We don't even still.
Yeah. And that not only is he saying that, he's saying it about their mother, and my oldest is trying to get my youngest to say it about, right? Like it's just like all of these things.
You know what you need to do? You need to sit them down and show them Mr. T's treat your mama right. Skip the first few seconds though, because they do a bunch of yo mama jokes.
Okay, yo mama.
It's really not good for you to expose to them at this
age. That just feeds into the.
Yeah, I tried that 3 years ago or whatever it was, and my wife's like, "What are you playing for them?" I'm like, "God, I started with this."
Oops.
Yep.
Must edit. So, anyways, I was like, I was already annoyed at that point, and at that point, that just like made me livid. Like it doesn't sound great for me, but I was just like over the edge. And I said, if I could have canceled the tickets for the movie, I would have. But for like, I went into the app and I couldn't cancel it for whatever reason. I tried going to the email, I tried going to the app, I tried looking at the tickets themselves. You cannot cancel the tickets.
Non-refundable.
Non-refundable.
Important try.
Yeah. So I was just like, well, like, what am I going to do? But I was like, I was very firm with my oldest. Like, you cannot talk like this. And I considered like not even letting him come to the movie, but then it would just be the three of us, and I have to find daycare for him or someone to look after him. It's just it's a whole thing. Anyways.
Yep.
End up caving, and we took him to the movies, and we all went. It was fun. My punishment was that he didn't get any snacks at the movie theater. So all of us were eating snacks except for him. But he did get a cup of water. I obviously. Yeah. So that was my way of dealing with.
That's a good one. So we had a similar situation when we went to the movie theater, which was, I don't know what day, Sunday also. Yeah.
Yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday. So also because that's when the desk issue is. Desk thing was. The kids knew we were going, and they've been excited to watch this movie, which is To Be and Be New, the movie.
Okay.
For a long time, because my son's known of his existence because of his obsessed cousin. His cousin is totally obsessed with To Be and Be New.
We saw the preview for that at Ninja Turtles, I think. So
did you? Okay.
Yeah.
So I didn't know if this was even going to come into fruition, if this movie was going to exist, because it was supposed to come out in like 2019 or something like that.
Oh, really? Okay.
And they delayed it, and there was no talk about it. And the 2PB website said nothing about it until just like a couple months ago. All of a sudden they're like,
it's almost like shadow dropped, like, oh, it's now. Like,
seriously. I didn't think it was going to happen. I thought it was vaporware. But so we told them about it, that we were going to go watch it, and then they started being idiots, just like you're describing. Different but the same.
Yeah.
And I threatened to Lauren, like, if you don't behave, you're not going to come, and that means I can't go either. So you want Sean and Mommy to go watch it? Is that what you want? No. So she smartens up and got better, and yeah, we went and watched it. It was fun. It was a weird movie. Like it felt like an episode of the show, but like just longer. Okay. And they really made. I don't know if you ever watched.
I don't know anything about the show. No.
So it was originally a French book, and then the TV show came out, and it was, as far as I understand, it was pretty popular. But I don't know if that's just my perception, because my nephew really knew it when he was younger, and they loved it. And it was on Treehouse. I don't think it was any other channels that I know of. And maybe that's part of the reason why it wasn't very popular. But we have DVDs of it, and yeah, we have Treehouse DVDs of it. But just felt weird, and they made Tupi seem like he was slow, like actually slow.
Yeah.
It was borderline on them all like making fun of him for being slow, but they handled it okay, I think, but it was close to not.
Close to it, yeah.
Yeah. I think the one girl even said something along the lines of "you're neurodivergent" or something like that, or I don't know what it was exactly, but
that's funny.
Yeah, it was. He's always been that way. That character has always been that way, but they never centered him out that way with other people. And then also the cell phone, or the show was all about this cell phone, or like one big part about it was about the cell phone, and it was like the one girl was obsessed with the cell phone, and it was not really putting it in a bad light. It wasn't showing that her obsession was bad.
Mm-hmm.
It was actually making the cell phone seem very useful because it has GPS and stuff like that. But it was a weird plot point that they went with that.
Interesting.
But either way, the movie was good, and the kids didn't seem to do that. We actually talked about it after with them, that we didn't like how it made the phone such a big deal. And then we were even trying to figure out, like, is that supposed to be the parents, or is that supposed to be like a teenage kid? Because she almost acted like a teenage kid with the phone. So maybe they're trying to make fun of teenage kids or point out teenage kids' obsession with phones. I don't know.
Strange.
Mm-hmm.
How did your kids respond? Did they agree, or did they just kind of fluff off like, whatever?
I think Sean seemed to agree and understand. Lauren, I think, was none the wiser.
Yeah, she's a little young to kind of probably get that side of it.
Yeah, and what we're trying to say about it being bad, but also kind of true.
Yeah.
And we're not too much like that with our phones. Sometimes it's like I'm typing a message to reply to someone on Kijiji, and they'll be bugging me, and I'll be like, just let me finish. Yeah. And that's the time where we get anything close to what that example or that depiction is. But yeah,
that's fair.
Like the girls, they're all adventuring together, and the girl has her headphones in, listening to music on her phone. And then everyone tries to talk to her, and she can't hear them. She's like, hold on, let me just pause it. Pauses it, pulls the headphones out, and starts talking to them. It's like, why did you have to do that?
Just anyway. Because reasons, yes. You gotta extend the showtime somehow, right? Like,
that might be what it is, because they are used to creating a TV show. In fact, they haven't made it for a long time. I don't even know what year that movie that show came out last. Yeah, but it's been a while.
Everything's focused on
2 seasons.
So
2005, 2006.
It's a long time ago.
Yeah. Still a decent movie though, or a decent show though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The movie had some points. It was also weird, but anyway. I did one other thing. Do you want to save it?
Can I talk about Ninja Turtles real quick?
Yeah. That's right. The one other thing I did involves you.
Okay. Yeah, sure. So Ninja Turtles is good. The art style is amazing. It's definitely riding the wave of like the Spider-Man verse movies.
I saw it.
Yeah. You have seen it?
Yes.
Okay.
Complex.
Okay, fair. So wait, you've seen the Spider-Man one or the Ninja Turtles ones?
Both.
Okay. Never mind. Well, then talk about Ninja Turtles too. You can talk about it.
I don't have much to say. I mean,
okay. I'm not always a fan of when they change the turtles, right?
Yeah.
I like the original ones. I like the Nickelodeon ones even more.
Nickelodeon ones, yeah.
I don't like the newest Nickelodeon one where like they changed on Raph as the leader. I'm not super into that one.
I can see it. It seems okay. The animation of it's also again differently neat.
Yeah. Then there's the Michael Bay interpretations, which is it's fine.
Yeah, it's not one of them.
They're forgettable and they're almost like a little bit over the top. But I do like how they made these ones, like these turtles. They're actually teenagers, right? They are adolescent boys and they're getting into trouble. Mm-hmm. That's what teenage boys do. Not a great role model for my kids who just came in.
Mine won't, but
yeah. Yeah, a great role model for my kids who just got in trouble for doing stuff at home that they shouldn't have been doing. But and here I go, I'm going to a movie where like Master Splinter says, "Don't do this," and they go and do that thing. So
yeah, I called that out in the movie too.
Yeah,
when we were watching, I'm like, "Oh, great! They're doing exactly what he told them not to do. They're going to get in trouble because of that."
Yeah. course.
No, he throws him a pizza party.
I really like Jackie Chan as Master Splinter. I think he played it really well. It was also an interesting take on Splinter where he's almost shown as being frail and weak rather than being like the overbearing Master Splinter. I can do everything as he has been. So
I liked the father part of it, like where he's more like a father, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But he still really has been.
He can still come and kick butt if he has to, right? So
yeah.
Which also means they changed the origins.
Again, yeah. They've done it a couple times.
Yeah, but to me, it's always been like it's the ooze. It's always been the ooze, and now it's like it's kind of ooze.
It's ooze, but it's like different generations. Like even with the bad guys, they were like, he's older because he was changed first. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so he's older brother kind of thing.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Well, and this one isn't like Master Splinter is just a guy, right? Like he's not the Shredder's nemesis from Japan. He's
watching movies, right?
Yeah, he learns by watching movies. So that's a bit different.
But there was one time where he was actually Shredder's like friend or like his friend's pet.
He was his friend, and they both fell in love with the same woman.
Yeah. But there's another one of them, I can't remember which one it is, where he was actually a human that got changed into a rat.
That's the Nickelodeon version and the movie version, I believe.
Okay. Yeah, I can't remember. I'm sure we can find it on Wikipedia.
I'm sure someone will correct us in the comments. But yeah, this one was a bit weird because he just seems like a regular dude. He's just a regular dude who watches kung fu movies and learns how to do kung fu or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's that part's a little bit lackluster for me. I'm like, because then it's like a guy who learned on TV is now teaching these kids how to be ninjas, and it's come on. Like I would rather them have like the ethos being taught and stuff like that. Because that's one of the things. So my oldest is in like Taekwondo. We put him in just to have something. He seems to like it, which is strange for him because we have him in like piano and he was in soccer camp and he was all this thing. He doesn't want to do any of that. Like it's time to do piano. Oh, do I have to? Or do I have to go to soccer? Do I have to do this? And it's like, it's time for, go to Taekwondo or martial arts. He's like, okay, let's go. Right. But even when he's there, they're not, we sit in on the class. Right. So we don't hear them talking about like, this is for defense only. You don't use this offensively. You don't attack people. None of that was being taught. And so that's why even when I see, in the Ninja Turtles, I kind of want that message being brought out. We actually brought it up with the teachers at his Taekwondo class. We're like, what happens to, because we did notice at one point he was starting to kick around his little brother a little bit. So we're just like, the teachers have to also enforce, don't go home and beat up your brother.
Yeah.
So, but he does seem to continue want to do it. So it's not, I think we just need to, that day I was mad. I'm like, we're going to take him out of martial arts or we're going to, I was just, I went on my rampage, but I calmed down. I came to my senses. Yeah.
You calmed down and you gave in.
Yeah, exactly. So,
well, I watched some things.
Oh, I did too.
So my wife and I were told about this show by my sister-in-law. And I don't know if you're going to like it or not, because you didn't really seem to care too much when I told you about us watching The Masked Singer.
Okay.
But this show is similar in that it's celebrities on a reality show.
That's the key is like, I don't really watch reality shows. So that's.
Yeah. And I don't normally, but I like the solving the problem of who is it.
Okay.
And this show has that same thread differently. It's called Claim to Fame.
Okay.
Basically, all these people are related to a celebrity. And there are hints given and there are games played that gives hints as to who their celebrity relative is.
Okay.
And
I think I saw a clip of this.
Maybe. I don't know where we never learned about it anywhere except from my sister-in-law, as it was. So it's on my Plex. We watched season 1 and we enjoyed it. It's fun to try and figure things out, but a lot of the time it comes down to I don't know anybody, right?
Yeah.
Like unless they're a classic rock singer or like an actor that's something I know, or you know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna get it. But like anybody who's modern, I have no freaking clue. My wife is better for that stuff. So she figured some stuff out and I figured out bits and pieces, I think. But season 2, we've also been watching. There's one episode left. It's a double episode that's airing tonight. Actually, it's just finished now, I think. So we got to go watch that at some point and finish off the show. But it's neat. I hate the game part of it, the Big Brother-y, behind the back, keeping secrets, all that stuff I hate.
Yeah.
But it's just slowly giving you hints as to who these people are is the part that I like.
Okay.
Trying to guess.
I can see that. I can see the mystery side being more interesting.
Yeah. Like the one girl, at one point, somebody had said the name Carrot Top for her. And I'm like, oh, she does look kind of like him. She's got the exact same hair. Face is kind of structured similar to how he was before he got all the surgery. And then someone calls her out on it or tells her that in private. And she just was like as if, yeah, it is obvious that I'm. And then it turns out in the end that she's not. In fact,
so is the idea to keep it a secret as long as possible? Like if you get guessed, you're off?
Yes. If you get guessed, you're off. And every day or whatever they do, or every episode, they do a guessing. But the person who is guessing is always the two bottom people in the group for the competition they had.
Okay.
So they have like a Survivor type competition. And whoever is worst, the bottom two people of that become the possible guesser, and everybody votes on which one of them becomes the guesser. So there's strategic reasons why you'd pick one or the other. Maybe that person knows who you are and that one doesn't. So you pick the one who doesn't know who you are.
Yeah.
And that one's your friend and that one's not, or whatever else maybe. Or you think that person thinks they know who that person is that you don't like. They'll guess them. And if they're wrong, they go home. But if they're right, then the person they guessed goes home. So either way, you win.
Yeah.
As long as they're not going to guess you, right?
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. It's kind of neat. You should check out at least one episode and see.
I think I saw a clip of like someone who's related to Tom Hanks, I think was on the show.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I saw that clip.
That was hilarious.
Yeah. That's the clip I think I saw.
There was another person that was season 2 and she was the first one off.
Yeah.
But it was her own fault because when they were looking at the clues on this hint board, someone said something about Tom Hanks and she's like, oh no, that could also be this person or this person. And it was all just bullshit. And that's why everybody knew that she was related to him. But she went off on a rant. But somebody else on season 1 did a similar rant. Not as bad, but a similar rant about their celebrity or about being figured out.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
But a lot of big celebrities, I'm surprised. Like Tom Hanks was probably the biggest one, but there's a lot of big celebrities. And it seems like there's also a key to your celebrity being big, but not too big.
Okay.
That it's easy to guess.
Yeah. You don't want it to be too big.
Like the guy and the girl who were, he was the guy, the guy of the season 1 who, I can't remember if he won it or if he was second place. I think he won it. Anyway, his celebrity was just obscure enough that no one knew. He's a country singer, and like only 2 people there knew country, and one of them was off quickly, and the other one was keeping her mouth shut because she liked the guy or was friendly to the guy because they're from the same state or something. So it was hard to know because you don't know who these people are.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
I haven't watched any shows.
Oh,
I know. I'm bored.
3 other shows, 4 other shows, 5 other shows. No.
Oh my goodness.
4. You want to go for it?
That second screen's been real busy while you've been
yeah. Well, I've been
applying for jobs. Yeah.
I was actually on my phone while doing dishes mainly.
No, okay.
One of them's not a show. I realized this one's not a show. I watched Hello.
The which?
Silo.
This is cutting you off. I can't hear you.
Really?
Yeah.
Silo.
Oh, Silo. All I heard is
Silo.
hello.
Hello. I watched Hello.
Okay, Silo. Yeah. Okay. Good.
You had a guess on episode 2 on Silo.
I did.
And you were right.
Yes.
Is what you said.
Yes.
And Bill doesn't believe you.
Yes.
So your guess was basically the multiple thing?
I said, yeah. I said, watch at the end, the last shot, they're going to pull back and there's going to, yeah.
Okay. I don't want to spoil things on people,
no.
but I just figured that was what you meant. No, I didn't have that guess, but I don't know. It was an all right show. I don't think it was anything great, anything special.
I like the world building around it. I like the set. I like all the retro futuristic version. Like they're on computers doing new things, but it's all like DOS based, or it looks like something out of Fallout. I think that's what I really liked about it. Mm-hmm. Not that I like Fallout. I don't play Fallout, but Fallout.
Just a lack of explanation on some of the stuff, like the outdoor thing.
Yeah,
they don't explain it very good. It's ridiculous. But anyway,
it looks like I said, I've got the book. I haven't got to the books yet, but I have the first book downloaded for an ebook or audiobook. So, according
to Wikipedia, it looks like it's going to be more than one season.
I think it's supposed to be. I think it's been renewed for a second season already. So, and the show is different than the book. So,
okay,
maybe the book is better. We'll find out.
Yeah. So I also watched other things.
Okay, go for it.
Watched Marvel's Runaways. Do you know this at all?
Nope.
So I don't know how I came across this. I think I added it to my watch list a long time ago before it came out because I'm like, oh, it's a Marvel show. Let's see what it's like. And it is, I think it's got 2 seasons, and I'm pretty sure I've watched all of it. I'm just double checking. No, second season is only 1 episode so far that I have. Anyway, it's a weird show. Like, it's Marvel, but there's not really that much superpowers or anything like that.
Okay.
There's like 1.5 girls, 2 girls, I guess, with superpowers, but it's weird. There's nothing about like Marvel's typical DNA genetic mutation stuff that causes mutants, right? And the whole time these kids are like at odds with their parents, and I don't know. It's a weird show that I basically forced myself to continue to watch. So I will probably continue to force myself to continue to watch just to try to figure out the story. So,
that's fair.
It is what it is. I don't recommend it, but maybe check out an episode and see
if it's for you. Yeah.
It's a lot of teen drama stuff too.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Be forewarned.
I want to see the I think Ashoka is up on Disney Plus right now. The new Star Wars Ashoka show.
Oh, I'm so far behind Star Wars anything.
I think that's the next one I think I'm gonna watch. But I gotta wait for a few episodes to drop. I'm like one of those guys who I like to binge. I don't like to.
I like to binge as well. Yeah. Oh, see, it's about her. I do like her. Or I did in the movie. It's not the same actress, is it?
It is, yeah.
Oh, it is, okay.
Yeah.
From
Rosario Dawson.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
Yep. So much. I feel like there's so much Star Wars I have not seen that I need to catch up on. I almost need to lay out what I've seen and what I have not.
If you've been watching the shows, like
I haven't been watching. I watched Mandalorian.
Okay, all of them,
and all of it except what came out now. I think recently.
Well, it's like there's season 3 is the latest season. So
I don't know. I don't remember.
Okay.
I did not watch Boba Fett.
Yeah, that's okay.
And what else was there? So much.
What was the other shows?
I don't know. I'm trying to look up Mandalorian to see how much.
There's Obi-Wan. What was the other show?
I'll watch Obi-Wan.
So.
Plex doesn't know how much I've watched because I probably watched it somewhere else. Pretty sure I saw season 1. I don't know if I saw season 2.
I haven't watched any of the like animated Star Wars stuff, even though that's supposedly canon.
Yeah, I heard good things about Clone Wars.
I've heard Clone Wars is good. I've even heard like the Bad Batch is good. That's a recent one as well, but I haven't seen it. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Going into Clone Wars is daunting because there's so much of it.
Yeah, that's one of the worries.
Yeah.
I don't remember what this thing is in my list that I watched. Oh, that's because it's a Nicolas Cage movie.
Okay.
Did I watch it? I don't think I watched it. I think I started it or something.
Uh-oh. Or if you're on the movies, I can do movies.
No, I did watch it. Anyway, sorry. I was trying to figure out what was movies and what was not. So okay. I'm done with TV shows. I have 3 movies that are not Nicolas Cage movies.
Okay. I have more than 3 movies that are not Nicolas Cage movies.
Go ahead.
Gotta remember which order I watched these in. I watched a Tom Cruise movie. I know you're not a fan, but there's some movies that I feel I need to watch because they're in the zeitgeist of like, these are great movies of pop culture that are referenced all the time. So I feel like I have to watch them. And the one that's all the time that I see is Jack Nicholson saying, "You can't handle the truth." And that's
A Few Good Men.
A Few Good Men. So I finally was like, you know what? I'm going to sit and watch A Few Good Men. And I did. I watched that while I was camping and it is very good. I like law movies or courtroom movies because it's
okay.
It's the mystery. How do I get an edge over this person who has this piece of information, or how can I twist what I have to be a better argument? That is very interesting to me. So if you're into it for that, if you can set aside your Tom Cruise, it's young Tom Cruise. So
I've been meaning to watch that movie for a long time.
Yeah, it's good.
A long time.
Very enjoyable.
As you can tell, I know the reference.
That's what I mean. Everybody knows the reference. I knew the reference forever, but I hadn't seen the movie. So I'm like, I need to just sit down and watch the movie. So
yeah, even kids' movies reference that.
Exactly. And that was an ad lib by Jack Nicholson.
See, he's good.
Yeah. If you want another, I didn't watch this recently, but if you want a good law movie as well, you should watch My Cousin Vinny. If you haven't seen that.
I don't think I have.
Absolutely, you need to watch My Cousin Vinny. It's so accurate and to courtroom law that it's actually used in law school to teach law procedure, I think.
That's
funny. So, yeah. And it's also very entertaining.
On my list already on IMDb.
Do it. Very good movie. And then I watched a Michael Douglas movie called Black Rain.
I've heard of
it. You know the cover. You know the cover of it. I've seen the cover. Sure. I've seen the cover for decades. And
who asked me to get this movie for him years ago. It's also on my watch list, so I don't think I ever watched it.
It's good. It's not what I expected it to be. I expected it to be almost like a futuristic, like noir, like sci-fi noir movie just by the cover of it.
Yeah.
But it's not what it is. It's just like, it's kind of like, it's a little bit more run of the mill, like 80s action detective hunting down a fugitive.
2 New York City cops arrest a Yakuza member and must escort him when he's extradited to Japan.
Yeah, basically, that's what it is. So, and then if you couldn't tell, they lose him when they get to Japan, and they gotta go through the local police system to try to get him back. So, it's entertaining for an 80s movie. I would watch it again. It's funny to see Michael Douglas. I guess it's not that funny because I've seen him in Romancing the Stone or Jewel of the Nile. I see him in the action role. But generally speaking, I haven't seen him in that. Like he plays more of like the debonair, kind of rich, posh guy, businessman, that kind of side of things.
Yeah.
So, yeah, interesting. Oh, wow. Then I watched, also while camping, watched a couple movies while camping. Okay, I should also explain my camping watching. It took me a couple nights. A couple nights to get through some of these movies because everybody goes to bed at like 10 o'clock, right? 10 o'clock is when I start to perk up, and that's when I want to do something or watch a movie. So I don't want to sit outside in the pitch black dark by myself. So
it gets better. You already told me this.
I know. So I would lay in my cot in the tent, but then I would fall asleep because I'm laying down. I did actually. I bought a clip from the dollar store that clips onto the side of my cot and has a big phone thing, so the phone can actually sit above my head while I'm laying down.
Yeah, I have one of that for my bed.
So it works out well, but at the same time, I still get sleepy and close my eyes.
It's like that long bendy arm thing.
That long bendy arm, yeah. And you gotta put a couple twists in it to give it some strength. Otherwise,
I spent like a year struggling to get that in the right spot.
It's so annoying. You wonder why I could just get. Maybe I just gotta buy one on Amazon and get a good one, like the dollar store one.
I looked. I didn't see any that would be any better that would clip correctly onto the bed.
Yeah.
Like the headboard of our bed is big chunky wood, so there's like nowhere for it to go.
Yeah. I mean, this thing fits perfectly on the side of the cot. Like it's because it's square tubing on the cot, so it clamps nicely. But just that because the arm of it is so long and my phone is heavy, it has no strength. So I got to put a couple coils in the arm to get enough strength.
I put like a full on V shape in it.
Oh, okay.
Like hooks onto the wood of the bed to stop it from falling down, and then curves over to hold.
Okay.
Yeah,
that works too. So it took me a couple nights to get through A Few Good Men and 2 nights to get through Black Rain. And I was like, I need to do something better. So I ended up bringing like my camp chair inside the tent and putting my feet up on the cot. But I can only do that for about an hour. And then like my butt gets numb because it's just a camp chair. There's no padding to that thing. So anyways, I had my great revelation is I took my tablet into the car at night, which is great. It's sound isolated. I'm in the car by myself. I sit in the driver's seat. So it's a comfy chair. I could put my feet across, like up on the dash. I put my tablet resting on the steering wheel. And I could turn the volume up and I could sit in there and eat snacks and I'm not being eaten by bugs. 2
possible hacks to improve that experience.
Yes.
There's one I told you and you told me the downside. I said, put it to Bluetooth stereo on your car so you can play it through the entire speakers of the car.
Yeah.
Which the downside is then you're draining the battery of the car.
Yeah.
The other
would be good though.
Yeah. The other hack is your headphones.
That'd
be pretty cool too.
It would be good.
More immersive than this little stinky speaker on the tablet.
That's true. And I did think about that. And I could even just get like a Bluetooth speaker.
Yeah.
As well, just to get a little bit more oomph sound as well. But obviously Bluetooth, like headphones is obviously better, but not always be super comfortable for long periods of time. I've done it in the past, but it's nice to not have earphones or headphones on sometimes too. So
yeah,
depends on how I'm feeling.
These ones get warm, if anything.
Yeah, that's all. So yeah, but yeah, it was great. So I spent the last 2 nights in the car watching movies, and it was great.
Family camping trip.
Everyone was asleep. It was just me awake. So
yep,
that's the way to do it. A campsite, a couple sites down, actually had a screen up and projected a movie, and we were walking down and they were watching Jurassic World like on this big screen. No sound. I don't know how they dealt with the sound, but that was pretty cool. I would love to do that. And now that I have that, my enclosed trailer is white. I thought maybe I could make that the screen project onto the side of the trailer.
Maybe. But only one way to find out.
Only one way to find out. I gotta get a projector.
You can try one of mine.
There we go. We'll do that.
Yeah.
So, the other movie I watched when I was camping was Defiance. It's about the Jews in Belarus during World War II, and they're being sought out by German forces and Nazi sympathizers. And so these 3 to 4 brothers go into the woods just to escape, and then they find more stragglers, and they end up making a community in the woods, hiding from the Germans.
Okay.
And eventually, and they're basically like a guerrilla group. So it's basically the movie follows them as they try to survive, avoid the Germans, get supplies, get food, and fight back and not get found and not get caught. So sometimes they get caught, so they're getting attacked, so they got to quickly grab everything and leave. fight off the attackers and then go make a new camp, and then hopefully they don't get found there and that kind of thing. So, starring Daniel Craig and Liev Schreiber. And I remember watching this movie when it came out. I didn't think much of it back then, but watching it again now, and I do think it is a good movie. So, and it's a true story.
I've heard of it back then. I've never seen it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. 7 out of 10 on IMDb.
Hey, that's pretty good.
So I watched what I thought was a movie reenacting, like a movie about a real event is what I thought this was. Okay. And my wife and I started watching it, and it's like a documentary that has clips of reenacting with actors. And the one actor is, what's his name? I don't see him here, but I thought, oh yeah, there. Glenn Howerton from Always Sunny.
I haven't watched it.
Oh yeah, you haven't watched it. Oh yeah, we said that before. Anyway, one of the main guys from Always Sunny in Philadelphia, he plays on this. What else was he in? You got to know him from something else, but he's in the Blackberry movie.
Okay.
He plays Jim Basile, the bald one.
Yeah.
You saw Blackberry movie, right?
I haven't, but I know who Jim Basile is.
I thought you saw it. Okay.
No.
I thought you saw it. All right. I need to watch that still. Anyway, so him in it, he's playing the main guy in this movie. Anyway, the basic premise is, or this documentary, basic premise is that a painting disappeared from a museum in Arizona. 32 years later, this New Mexico home, the painting is found. And it's because this couple basically were art thieves in their spare time, like as a hobby.
Okay.
And it's all about as they unfold what these people may or may not have done. And it's pretty cool story. I had heard about it a long time ago on some podcast, and I wrote it down and put it on my IMDb list, and finally it showed up as available. So I checked it out, and yeah, the Thief Collector is the name of the documentary. It's about him and his wife. I don't know why it's called The Thief Collector because he wrote a book as well while he was still alive that basically tells everything they did or people suspect it's everything they did.
Okay.
And so this is them unraveling the scenario or the how this is possible and may or may not be true, and leaning towards it probably all being true, but yeah, some unbelievable things that he did as well that come out.
Interesting.
Yeah. And The Thief Collector was the story in his own book about him and his wife.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. I'd probably watch that.
Yeah, you should. Decent. I also watched Flash.
The movie. Okay.
Yeah. I already got past TV shows, but I don't know. I saw the TV show forever ago, and I liked it at the beginning, not forever ago. The one that came out in 2014. That's still on now, and I liked it but never really kept up with it and felt like it was going nowhere. So then I watched this one not knowing the context, other than I'd heard that there was controversy with the main guy.
Yeah,
I thought it was the main guy from the TV show when I'd heard about it because I just didn't follow it. But this one was fun. I really liked Michael Keaton. There was a lot of fun to it, but honestly the main guy felt like he was playing an autistic or like someone on autistic spectrum, and he's really, really pushing it.
Okay.
Like a lot. And it was off-putting in that way. I don't know why it felt that way for sure, but there was moments where it looked like he was just obviously trying to play that part, and it did not sit well. And I'm surprised there wasn't controversy over that, because I mean, no one's ever claimed that the Flash was autistic at all, but
you never know.
Yeah. And not that it's a problem, it's just it's weird for someone who's not to play someone who is, as with a lot of things like that.
Yeah.
And that came up with the TV show Atypical as well, where the guy played a kid who had autism. And yeah,
I haven't seen any DC stuff. For some reason, just doesn't.
With this one, you should watch just because of Michael Keaton.
I've heard. Yeah, bits of that are good. But
yeah,
would I get lost though? Because isn't there another Flash movie? No, I won't get lost.
Another one? No,
wasn't there something else? You have to. Well, this guy's been the Flash before. Don't you have to watch like Justice League or something to catch up to what he's up to?
I never watched Justice League or any of the other ones. I felt like it was completely fine on its own.
Okay.
He was also in Peacemaker. Oh, he's uncredited, so he must have just showed up somewhere. Yeah. I never saw Justice League. I never saw Zack Snyder's. I never saw any of them.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right. Potential.
It's fine on its own.
All right.
I should watch Justice League just to watch it, but
I know I should also watch it. But I like long movies, but for some reason that one I just can't. I haven't had the drive to sit there.
Flash is 2 hours and 24 minutes.
Well, that's fine, but like Justice League is like 3.5. So.
Yeah, that's why I haven't watched either. I haven't even watched the Batman. No, the Superman movie. Right? That was Superman versus Batman. That whole thing.
Oh, Batman versus Superman. Yeah. I saw that in theaters
because it was long too.
Yeah, it was long. Kind of fell asleep for that one
too.
Everybody
says so.
It's fine.
And not good.
Yeah.
Not a winning combination. So
I watched a movie. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you watched a movie. Yeah, no, I have one more.
I watched a movie that you recommended. It was on my watch list, but you also recommended it, so it pushed up to the list. I watched Sisu.
Yes. Sisu. S-I-S-U.
Yes, S-I-S-U. It's pretty good, but you have to be in the right frame of mind to watch this movie.
Well, you already watch every Nazi movie there is, so what frame of mind do you need?
What are you trying to say here?
I don't know. It just seems like every time you bring movies, one of them is a Nazi movie.
I mean, maybe.
It's your least favorite part of history? Favorite part to learn about? I don't know.
It's a mystery to me too. It's good. It's good. People have been saying it's. Some people, I don't know if you said it, but someone brought up the Tarantino word again. It's very Tarantino-esque. I wouldn't. Maybe it wasn't you, but someone has said it in the past. I was like, it's not Tarantino-esque. And someone also said it's very John Wick-esque.
Okay.
I wouldn't even really say it's John Wisk. That
name.
John Wisking. John Wick-esque. It's just an action movie. It's very gory. Like they go overboard on the gore.
Yeah.
And it's also very far-fetched. I think I would have liked it more if they would have toned down, not the gory part, I'm fine with that. If they had toned down the far-fetchedness of it a little bit.
Okay.
When he gets shot by an airplane and he just like sews himself back together, or he gets hanged and he survives and he cuts himself down. I'm like, okay, come on. He
got hanged and he didn't like just cut himself down right away.
Yeah,
it took a while.
He was there for like 12 hours and then gets down. Yeah. So I think if they would have just toned that bit of it down a little bit, I would have liked it a lot more. It's still good. It's very entertaining if you just want to watch Nazis get killed. Mm-hmm. So,
in fun and interesting ways.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I recognized the main actor.
Yeah.
When I saw him, I'm just like, I know you from somewhere. And guess what? You also know him because we watched this movie together that he is in. Without looking it up.
Rare Exports.
Rare Exports.
That makes sense.
Yes, he plays the father in Rare Exports.
They're both take place in
Finland.
Finland? Okay.
I think it's Finland.
That's what I was going to say. I can't remember if it was Finland or Norway or what.
Yeah.
Finland sounds right. That makes sense. I thought he looked familiar too, but I never really put two and two together.
He looks a little more grizzled in this movie than Rare Exports.
Well, yeah, he's older.
Yeah. So. But yeah, as soon as
Rare Exports,
I know him. I know.
He's 12 years older, so.
Yeah. It was good. So this movie made me want to watch
Cocaine Bear.
No. I was like,
you should watch Cocaine
Bear. I
Bear.
do need to watch it. Yeah.
Yes.
I was like, okay, they said this was John Wick-esque, so I came in to watch the John Wick-esque movie. I didn't quite get the John Wick side of it, so I watched John Wick Chapter 4, which is the thrilling conclusion.
Oh, the director,
maybe.
The director of Sisu and writer is the director and writer of Rare Exports.
Oh, really?
Director of. Yep,
okay.
Director and one of the writers. Yep.
Okay. So they just been working together then.
Yeah.
So
if you really want to know, he has more things he directed too.
I should probably go through and see what he's got. Yeah, John Wick 4. Had to fill out or finish, I should say, the quadrilogy. I can't remember if I watched the John Wick movies this year or last year. Like, I'd gone through them again, so figured I would go through it. This one is good. It's got really high ratings on Rotten Tomatoes, like 94s, 95s, something like that. And I think it's a little bit, again, maybe it was just the mood I was in, but it was super far-fetched. Again, John Wick is Superman.
Okay.
He doesn't die. He's been shot. He's been blah, blah, this, that, and the other thing. And it's almost like there's too much action, if that makes sense. Like, there was action just for the sake of having action.
Okay.
He needs to get somewhere and he has to fight some guys. So he fights some guys, and then he fights more guys, and then he fights more guys, and then he gets there, and then he's got to fight more guys. It's just like you've used up all your fighting before you got to where you need to go, and now I don't really care about the fight that you're fighting now. That kind of thing. The fights are all kind of the same all the way up. I would say, like, John Wick 3 is the best because every fight is different. There's a knife fight, there's a horse fight, there's a motorcycle fight, there's a, every situation is different. This one is just like, oh, they're fighting in a building, and now they're fighting on some stairs, and now they're fighting on this point. But the tactics don't really change. It's a different set technically, but it's the same sort of action repeated on itself. So it's a little bit less interesting in that side.
I do need to watch that still, though.
It is good, but
I watched them all so separate from each other that I don't know the correlate, like the actual through line story and all that stuff. Like, that is totally not there for me.
Okay.
I just watch it for what it is. Like, each individual movie has its own thing.
Yep. Yeah. That's fine.
All right, I watched one more movie that's not Nicolas Cage.
Okay, me too.
Horns.
This is Daniel Radcliffe, right?
13, Daniel Radcliffe. Yep.
Okay.
It was weird and really good. Like,
Daniel Radcliffe is really good at picking these movies now. I think he's really trying. He tried hard to get out of that Harry Potter thing, so he just started taking everything, which is good for him because he needs it.
But I don't think it's everything. I think it's like he picks it because he knows it has potential, and then he adds something to it.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like, is he's making it good. Without him, it wouldn't be as good. And this one definitely has that as well.
Yeah.
But this it's a weird story, but it's really good. It makes me want to go see what else he's done.
You should. Some of them
I already wanted to after seeing the last two that he was in. What was that? Jesus. It was the Guns on the Hands. What the heck was that again?
Guns Akimbo?
Yeah, Guns Akimbo. And then obviously Weird Al movie, but there was another one too.
Swiss Army Man?
Yes, Swiss Army Man. That's the one.
Yeah.
That one's weird but great.
Yeah.
I don't see much more that
I haven't seen Horns. I've seen trailers for it and I've seen bits and pieces, but I haven't actually seen the whole movie. So
it's pretty good. The story may have a flaw or two, but like, it's passable. It's just could even just be bad acting on the other guy's part, but yeah.
I need to add it. It is one that I need to watch.
Been on my called Jungle from 2017.
I think I have that one on my Plex.
I got it. Looks like it's gonna be good too.
Yeah, probably.
Like it.
He does weird things.
Cover, like, boom, right away. Just him. Watch it.
Who would have known Derek was a closet Derek or Daniel Radcliffe fan?
Yeah.
Yeah. So after watching John Wick, Sisu has definitely influenced my taste. I wanted to watch John Wick, so I watched Sisu. Didn't quite get the John Wick I wanted, so I watched John Wick. I didn't quite get the World War II that I wanted. So I went and watched a World War I movie because I heard it was a good World War I movie. I forget where I heard about this movie. I think I was watching like one of those YouTube videos where it's like, oh, historian rates war movies and how accurate they are. Like GQ does it and Men's Health does it, and what all these different channels take all these experts and make them watch clips of a movie and say, I give it a 5 out of 10 or a 3 out of 10. It's not very accurate or it's super accurate, and why it is.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyways, at the end of one of these YouTube videos, he said the most accurate depiction of World War I that he's seen in a movie was in a movie called Journey's End. So I was like, okay, well, let's go and watch that one. If it's his favorite, let's go and see. So Journey's End is about the British holding a trench that they cannot let fall into the Germans' hands. That's like the last line of defense. So they have to hold it. So, and there's talk of, I think they captured a German soldier, and they intercepted messages saying an attack is coming at some point, and they just don't know when. So it's them just sitting in the trenches waiting for this attack to come. And it's how do these people deal with, waiting for this attack, and essentially waiting for their life. They're waiting to die, essentially, because they're not going to survive it. So, yeah, it's good. It's got, what's that kid's name? He was in, I'm not going to, let's look at Plex here.
Plex is great for that.
I know. Asa Butterfield. He was in Ender's Game. He played the kid in Ender's Game, which is a really good movie. But he's a bit older in this. So he comes in as like, he's the new lieutenant, just graduated from officer school. So he's got to come in, and then he kind of has to learn the ropes from everybody who is, he plays the audience bit who doesn't know what's going on type thing. So it's everyone else telling him how the trenches work, and, oh, don't stick your head up there, or we're going to do a raid. This is how the raid works, and that kind of stuff. So, yeah, it's good. It's got a lower rating than John Wick 4, but I would argue it's a better movie than John Wick 4.
Okay.
Yeah. Journey's End from 2018. There you go.
Good. I see that. It's not already on my list, but it is now.
You'll never watch that movie. Come on.
There's too many movies to watch. Speaking of which, I also continuing to watch Wellington Paranormal, What We Do in the Shadows, a little bit of Powerless, Toys That Built America, Food That Built America. What else? It was also, Four Wheeler, Third Every Day.
Yeah.
And my wife and I started watching Taskmaster.
Ooh, I do like Taskmaster.
I'd never seen it before. I've seen clips popping up over and over again. So I'm like, I need to check out this show finally. Yeah. So we started watching season 15, which has that Canadian girl person. What's her name? I'm looking through the cast, but it's showing the cast for all 15 seasons. So yeah. But at least there's a Canadian on this season, and it's the same person. They were on the Canadian Laugh Out Loud, the one where they're all locked in a a room, and Tom Green was making them laugh real good. Yeah, Mae Martin, that's her name.
Oh, okay, yeah. She was the short hair girl, right?
She's binary. She's not binary, but yes.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, I know. I just said she, but anyway,
that's okay.
Hilarious. The first episode, my wife's like, all right, this is okay. We'll continue watching. And after that, it got better. I don't know if it's because we're getting to know the people better, or if they're getting to know the role better. Like, I'm assuming it changes them every season, right? I mean,
it does. Yeah,
celebrities, so they're getting into it. I'm assuming. So, yeah, but we've watched a couple episodes. I can't remember how many it is. So three episodes so far of season 15. This is Taskmaster, and while I was searching, you
should explain what Taskmaster is to people who don't know. What Taskmaster.
So, well, I've only learned it from 3 episodes so far, but basically it's like a sketch comedy-ish, but they're given a task to do. Each person or in groups, they tackle it, and basically the guy who's the host of the show and his helper guy, they write up a task. The task may be, in the next 20 minutes, you have to make the most unique scene you can, or you need to do something very unexpected, or you need to say 40 words, write them down, but the words have to start from longest to shortest. And there is no timer, so you have to estimate the time. Or find some other way.
Or move this thing from here to there without touching it, or that kind of thing.
Yeah. It's pretty neat the way some of the ones they do. There was a potato one where the conveyor belt, and they get to see it ahead of time, so they have to memorize the pattern. But then you realize as you're doing it that the pattern actually repeats, and they reload the belt as it's coming, and you have to catch them in a hat on your head facing away from it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But then the clever people realize that there's a hint on the wall telling the pattern.
Yeah. There's always a way to do it. Well, sorry. There isn't always a way.
There's usually a way to do it easier.
Yeah.
One was they hand a piece of paper to you, as they do in every single one, and it says your task. And this one says, unwind this ball of string. You have whatever, like 15 minutes or something like that.
Yeah.
And then they all missed that on the back of the piece of paper, it said, put a rewound piece of string, or put a neatly wound piece of string or ball of string on this pillow by the time the time ends. And most of them missed that, so they thought they were done. Oh, and that one also, your time started when you said the name of the guy who was in the room. Like if you said, "Hey, Alex," then your time starts then.
Yeah. Whereas
one guy never said the name. It was pretty neat.
That's fun. The one I saw was I've consumed this show purely through clips on YouTube. I've never watched a full season, but I've seen a lot of the clips. I love the ones where they find the loophole.
Yes. Yeah.
And they figure out a way to like complete the task, but within the rules, or even slightly outside the rules, but it still counts because they're like, it's up to the taskmaster's discretion if he will allow it or not. So and usually if it's clever enough, he'll just let it slide.
The one where you have to figure out the time, you have to estimate 20 minutes and figure out when to leave the caravan, the trailer within 20 minutes. The one guy stuck his head out the window and yelled to golfers who were next to them, because there's a golf course right next to their studio or their outdoor studio area. And they let him do that, because why not?
Why not? Yeah, exactly.
Could still be wrong too, but
the one that I saw was, they were put in a room and the lights were shut off. Okay. And they could see containers that had like those glow sticks around them. So you could see what they were, not color coded. They were just like, these are here. And you could see like a canvas on an easel. And so it's in the dark, and the task was paint the best rainbow that you can. So you can see all of these circle containers surrounded by glow sticks. So you could see that there was paint, but they couldn't see what color it was.
Yeah.
And they could see where the thing was. And they could see where the easel was, but they couldn't see what they were painting on it, right? Like that's
okay.
And that's all it was. It was just the light was shut off, and they said paint the best rainbow you can. And everyone was struggling with it, and then one guy's just like, but I can't see. And he turned around and was like, oh, I could just turn the lights on. And he just turned the lights on. And then just paints a rainbow. And they're like, yep, the light. And the light switch also had like a glow stick around it. So or it was just faintly like glow in the dark or something like that, so you could see that it was there. So
faintly, they would do faintly for sure.
Yeah. So
I was even thinking, grab multiple paintbrushes, put them all in at one time.
And that's the thing is like you start looking narrowly. Oh, and I'm in the dark. I have to do this in the dark, and no one looked behind them to see. Oh, there's light switch I can see.
That's
turn.
Yeah,
didn't say I couldn't.
There's always a thing like that. Almost always.
Almost always.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's a British show, but I did see when I was looking it up that this year there's a Canadian version starting.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Which would be cool.
Yeah. I'll have to. Well, I need to actually just sit down and watch the show because that's definitely a good thing to just like have on the side while you're doing something.
Yeah. You don't need to pay too much attention if you don't want to. And my wife has started watching Breaker High. Yep.
Are you also watching or just?
I am not participating in that.
Oh, okay.
I sat down and saw like 2 minutes of it. I'm like, this is ridiculous.
I'm out. Yeah.
I remember it, but this is ridiculous. So, anything else that's not cagey?
Nope. Only got Cage left.
How many Cage?
Oh, that's kind of a spoiler.
All right. I got one. That helps you. Tell me when to go.
All right. Well, I got 2, so why don't we do it? You sandwich. I watched. It's not hard to figure out which one I watched next because obviously I'm doing it chronologically. I watched Wild at Heart, starring Nicolas Cage, and Laura Dern, and Willem Dafoe,
and this other guy. So there's another guy that was. I don't remember. Maybe not. Maybe I remember.
That's pretty much everybody that's big. Crispin Glover is in there very briefly.
Yeah, no, I was thinking of a different movie.
Okay.
Yes.
This movie is. I don't know.
Pretty cagey.
Okay, I will disagree.
Okay,
this movie is very strange. It's a David Lynch movie, if that puts anything into perspective for anyone listening. It's David Lynch. So right away, I'm not a huge David Lynch fan. So points off for that, in my opinion.
Okay.
I didn't think anyone could out Nicolas Cage, but I think that the people in this movie, like Nicolas Cage was the most normal person. He was cagey.
That was something I remember saying.
He's cagey, but everyone else is way cagier than he is. They're all like super exaggerated, especially the mother is off the charts insane in this movie.
I forgot about her, yeah.
Like, yeah, I was way more interested in seeing what Nicolas Cage was actually doing because he was the most normal person. Even Laura Dern, who I haven't seen, like, I know Laura Dern is like, being very, not like prim and proper, but, very like with it and together. And she's like almost unhinged in this movie. So that was an odd take. And Willem Dafoe as being like this crazy man. He's been crazy in some movies, but not like this.
Teeth bothered me so much.
Yeah, and they did that on purpose, right? Like he already has strange teeth as it is, and then they put the prosthetic teeth in it as well. So it
just seemed like it wasn't necessary.
It's strange, man. Holy, what a movie. You did send me a link that this was playing in our local art house theater in downtown Kitchener.
Tempted. To be fair, it was like the week I got laid off work. So
I think it's actually this weekend.
Is it? Okay.
It was like at the end of the month, so it's around now-ish. But yeah, I don't
have a job.
I know. I don't know that I'll be going to see this movie in the theater. To be honest.
I just thought it's a ridiculous one.
It is ridiculous.
Nude scenes, which there are plenty, if I recall.
There are quite a few, yeah.
Would be awkward in a theater, I think.
It's in a theater. It's not.
I know, but there's a lot of them, and they're weird. And and then the like implied rape stuff was like also quite weird.
Very kind of weird. Nicolas Cage is still in that, He's super obsessed with one woman. We got to point it out every time we see it. Super obsessed. Yeah.
And he dresses up as Elvis.
He does an Elvis. He sings Elvis songs.
Yeah.
That's how he knows. He said, "Oh, he's only going to sing this one Elvis song to his wife." He ends up singing it to his girlfriend at the end of the movie because, they're going to get married or that kind of thing.
Yeah. So cute.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the movie. Wild at Heart. I forget where you had it on your list. I think you had it at a C or a B.
I can't remember.
But
list, but of course it's not showing me my list as I would expect.
I got it here. Wild at Heart. You put it as a B.
So it's pretty cagey, I thought. Even if you count everybody else.
Yeah, true, I guess. Yeah.
If he's not cagey, they are.
But that's a different thing.
It's not an A, it's not an S.
That's different though. I didn't mark my time to kill here.
Yeah. And it reminded me I need to do this other one too that I forgot I even watched because I literally forget watching it. I remember bits and pieces. I'm like, I watched this movie? Oh yeah, I did.
Anyways, yes. Wild at Heart. I would probably put it at a C. And I'm also gonna put Time to Kill at a C as well. Not
you do whatever you want.
I will.
Time to Kill yet. I was gonna watch it one day and just didn't.
Yeah.
Didn't have time.
You get there. All right. What did you watch? Nicolas Cage, what did you watch?
I watched Red Rock West.
Oh, that's way at the list. Okay.
I forget. I forgot I watched it because it doesn't need to be Nicolas Cage. It could be anyone else.
Okay.
Like literally pretty much anybody else.
So not
very cagey.
Not cagey. Cage didn't save it.
It's more about the situations he's put in. Like he's not obsessed with the woman.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, yeah, she's all right. And then she hits on him. And he's like, all right, I'll do her. But like, he doesn't really care. It could have been literally any other male actor in this movie. And he has like a limp because he got hurt in the war, or I think it was Vietnam or something like that. Yeah, it's a weird one.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. I don't have much to say.
Well, what did you have a rank there? You got to rank it.
Yeah, I did rank it. I ranked it as not very cagey.
We have a letter grade. Come on.
Else. I did. Where is it? I don't remember.
Right here.
I just had it here. It's a D. Marked it as a D, which is out of our rank of
pretty low.
D, E, F, or A, B, C, D. That's the lowest we have. D.
D is the lowest we have. Yeah, and then NA basically.
Yeah, NA if he's not really featured in it at all.
Yeah,
but he is the main character. But like, I didn't feel like it needed to be Nicolas Cage. It wasn't that weird. He wasn't that weird. Yeah, It was almost like he was trying to be an action movie star, but there wasn't even that much action from him. He basically doesn't do much. Everyone else around him is doing stuff.
I have to say, it's been a little rough with his early movies here, and I'm really looking forward to like when we get to like 96, like when we get to see The Rock.
10 years before we get there.
I know. But like these ones are like we get to find
the best ones have also been at the bottom here, right? Like Vampire's Kiss.
Vampire's Kiss has been the best one. It's funny that it's been like, Valley Girl and Vampire's Kiss have been the only ones that have been like, yes, these are the ones you need to watch. Out of all these movies so far. Everything else has been like, B is pretty good, but not.
Yeah, like Birdie is weird.
It's funny that like we only have one A, right?
Yeah.
Everything else is B, C, D. One A out of that. One S. It's like.
Are we in agreement on everything?
No, not everything.
Okay. I see. There's some swapping of B's and C's between us.
Yeah. I think the biggest. Yeah, the biggest one was what we just did, right? The Time to no, not Time to Kill. Oh no, same thing. B and C. Like I considered putting Wild at Heart at almost a D, but he is better. He is better in that movie than the movie is. That's why I'm kind of rating it better on that side of things.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, I need to watch more Nicolas Cage.
Me too.
Get this show on the road.
We're trying. We're getting there. Next one I watched Firebirds.
Yep. Top Gun with helicopters.
Top Gun with helicopters. And you know what? I liked it. I thought it was pretty good. I don't think he was pretty cagey. He had his moments where he was like over the top. Again, super obsessed over one girl. But he was married to her before. Yeah. And the divorce. He's kind of get back to her. So, but at least it's not
hard to get back with her.
Trying super hard. It almost gets a little uncomfortable with
yeah.
But yeah, over the top. The action is ridiculous. I almost prefer this kind of movie. This is like super generic action. They're trying to show like helicopters and like dogfighting, if that's what it's called. Mm-hmm. But the camera's moving around so much you can't tell where anybody is. And this is the difference between like Firebirds and Top Gun. Like Top Gun, you can actually see like, oh, they're flying this way. He's flying that way. They do the cinematography does the best to show where planes are in relation to each other and why they can get that shot or why they can't. This one's just like, he's over there, make the shot. Like nothing's really involved. Tommy Lee Jones is in this movie. I don't think you mentioned that before, but
I said he was in it.
You must have, but I don't remember it. I remember seeing him in the list or in the credits, opening credits. I'm like, what? Tommy Lee Jones? And you know what? Tommy Lee Jones can only play one character. He's that same character in this movie.
Yeah, there's got to be a movie out there. He's been somebody else. I think he's capable, but I don't think he's given the opportunity very much.
I think he's always been the rough and tough guy. I'm doing this, and this is what it is. My favorite. This is kind of going off of Nicolas Cage, but my favorite Tommy Lee Jones movie, other than like I don't know, Men in Black, because that's pretty ubiquitous, I guess.
Great movie.
I like a movie called The Hunted. It's a movie with Tommy Lee Jones and Benicio del Toro. Benicio del Toro is like an ex-special forces guy who goes rogue and starts killing people in the forest. So they have to send his teacher in to go and get him. His teacher is Tommy Lee Jones. And it's all about knife fighting.
The premise of freaking Rambo?
Kind of, except Rambo doesn't actually kill anybody. But yeah.
I've never seen Rambo coherently, but I've heard podcasts about it recently, including Uncle Doug's DVD bin, and I'm pretty sure that's the exact description of Rambo given on that show. Like,
pretty close. It's pretty close. Except, like I said, Rambo doesn't kill anybody in the first movie. This guy is actively killing people.
Didn't he accidentally kill someone who fell from a helicopter or something?
Yeah, he might have fell from a helicopter, fell off a cliff or something like that. But yeah. So, but yeah, The Hunted is about him tracking down his former student in the woods. It's more focused on that.
Tommy Lee Jones did not play a serious guy in Batman Forever.
That's true, but that was a different.
Half true, actually. He played Two-Face.
Half true. Which he also, I don't think he enjoyed playing Two-Face in that movie. I think it's been on record that he clashed a lot with Jim Carrey because Jim Carrey was just being I think the quote is like, I cannot sanction your buffoonery or something like that. It's such an old man quote.
Yeah, that's why I'm thinking if you're going to find Tommy Lee Jones in something where he doesn't play that character, it's got to be something old.
Yeah. I guess there is a movie where he's like a cowboy He's probably pretty chill in that movie.
What is he, a tough cowboy?
Yeah, probably. The old wise cowboy who knows the ways. Yeah, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Anyways, Firebirds. I'm gonna give that one a B. We flipped on Wild at Hearts and
yep.
Firebirds.
Sounds good.
It's good.
It's how cagey it is, not how good it is.
I know. I try to take both into account.
I guess.
But next is Industrial Symphony No. 1, The Dream of the Brokenhearted.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. I don't think he is featured in it too much. He basically just plays the guy on the phone is what he's credited as. So it may not even.
It's only an hour, so I'll probably watch it just like on the side.
Only available on YouTube.
Yeah. So. Yeah. So I'm gonna probably do that, and then Zandali is only available on Tubi. I can't find even a torrent of that.
Oh.
So.
That's all right. Tubi has it. We're catching up, like getting on par here.
Yeah.
I have to watch Time to Kill to catch up to you, and then I have.
You got the next 4 in the going there, so.
Yeah. But
I have a lot more
that are YouTube only.
I have a lot more random ones in here.
But you haven't ranked them all.
No, I'm not ranking them until I see them again because
I feel like I need to rewatch Lord of War, but it's a great movie.
Yeah. He's not cagey in that movie though. He's actually playing it straight.
Yeah. That's the hard part.
Yeah. And that's why I still think I'm taking both into account, that kind of thing.
You know.
You're just taking all your X's and making them R's for rewatch.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be.
I'm so looking forward to watching like National Treasure. I re-downloaded those movies.
Never watched them.
Oh, I really enjoyed the first one when I watched it back in the day. It's probably not near as good as I remember. but yeah, I can't wait to watch like The Rock, Con Air, Gone in 60 Seconds. Yeah, that's good stuff. Wind Talkers is good. National Treasures, Lord of War. Those are all.
You know what we haven't talked about yet?
Your project?
My project? No. The project. Oh, that. Everybody who's audio again doesn't get to see.
This is for everybody.
I 3D printed some Nicolas Cage heads. I 3D printed like 10 or more. And I left
this is for the videos.
Front step. I have more over here too.
Oh geez. I can't hear you, by the way. You walked away.
Yeah. I got 2 more over here. These ones are smaller. They're all washed out on the camera, but I got 3 more small ones over here, but they don't have the plastic peeled away from them yet.
So, oh, okay. Keep talking for 1 sec.
No, I don't want to talk for 1 sec. You can't make me talk. He's making me talk. He's walking away as I have to talk because he's maybe going to get the other heads. I don't know what he's doing exactly. Yeah. He's doing something else. Let's just pretend we weren't talking bad about him while he was gone, okay? He'll never know.
I will never know.
Except when he's editing this. Wait, you don't edit this? Never mind.
There's no editing, let's be honest. Yeah.
So, Nicolas Cage heads, 3D printed. Go get the model if you have a 3D printer and just print them off.
Or ask Derek to print you one.
Yeah, maybe. Depends if I like you or not. They say for action figures, I think, and they're a hollow head, so you could probably adapt it to anything. I have seen people who made like a middle finger that's a tire cap for your car, and I was going to actually adapt that for him and put him on a tire cap.
You should. I need a tire cap, so you should make one for me.
I actually thought about switching the middle finger on your tire caps while we were together. I just worry about kids seeing them. That's all.
They wouldn't know.
Yeah.
My oldest is at the age now where he points at everything with his middle finger, and I'm like, dude, you gotta not do that. But I can't tell him why.
Teacher who did that in like.
That's a very French thing to do. So
3 or 4. Yeah, he did that for everything. Forget his name, but that's okay. I don't need to tell his name anyway.
please out him.
Yeah. It just bothers me because it's on the tip of my tongue. You know that?
Yeah, I know that feeling.
Oh, I remember now because he had 2 twin sons that were my brother's age. So, yeah. Anyway, no, the other thing we hadn't talked about yet. What'd you do yesterday?
What I do yesterday?
Sorry, what'd you do Saturday? God,
I was like,
time.
We went on an off-road adventure.
The 2 of us went off-roading.
Hot diggity dog. We went off-roading.
Anybody who checks or follows our Twitter already knows.
Yes.
But we finally organized a time to go do some off-roading. We went to my parents' house on Friday night, stayed over.
Guys, this is serious, by the way, for all our listeners. This is very serious. Derek and I are going steady now.
Yeah, he got.
And I've been brought home to meet the parents.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to sleep over at Derek's parents' house.
Yep. Not in the same room. We're not
parents insisted we sleep in separate rooms. Okay, separate beds. All right. There was no messing around going on. Okay, it was all in the up and up. So.
Yep. So, you also got to meet my brother.
Yes, I did.
And he helped you modify your mini bike.
He did.
Some pegs.
Yes. So we put some dirt bike pegs on the back of the mini bike so I can actually stand up while I was off-roading.
And they worked pretty damn good.
I would say that I would be a lot worse for wear or / that trip would have been impossible without those pegs. So they've already paid for their use, which I will owe your brother for a while.
I'm sure he probably already forgot he was drinking a little.
That's true. Yeah, it's quite the scene over there. He's got a lot of projects out in his yard or in his driveway and in his shop. So yeah, we just kind of pulled up and he had a bit of a shindig going on, but
that's just every day there.
Yeah, it must be.
Not even just Friday nights. I was
going to say, is that just Fridays? But
no, that's every single day at his house.
Everybody just shows up.
Home and the garage is open. People just start showing up, whether they're driving by, leaving work, whatever. Yeah. And my sister was there, so Josh got to meet my sister.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, it was like 4 or 5 of my brother's friends came by, and my brother's wife came by.
Yeah.
Brought pizza.
We were just chilling out and put some pegs on the bike and painted it
my
up.
brother showed you all his projects.
Yeah, I rode his insanely powered e-bike.
Yeah. It's a mountain bike converted to have a 1500 watt motor on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't even ridden that like performance mode he had you on.
The race mode? Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't even done that yet. When I rode it on like level 1 with like whatever the normal mode level 1, I was like,
yeah,
that's more assistance than I want. I want less than that.
Okay.
It would be good because it would turn your bike ride from like a muscle exercise into like a cardio exercise.
Yeah.
Because you're pedaling more just to let the motor do the work.
Yeah.
But I wish there was less help. And maybe you can gear it that way or get
probably, yeah. You could probably change the gears on anyway.
That same kit has a 750 watt kit. Like that same company has a 750 watt kit, which would be probably what I want, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that being said, that we just need to take time to actually go there and make our electric mini bikes. That's the next.
Yeah, there is that. I would get more use out of a bicycle though, but the mini bike would be fun.
Mini bike would be fun though.
I'm surprised he still has that frame sitting there that I got him for that mini crotch rocket, whatever you want to call it.
Pocket bike, yeah.
Pocket bike, yeah.
Yep.
Cool. Heck, even if the motor got running on that one, would be fine.
Yeah.
I don't know why it was thrown on the side of the road, but
who knows?
He's probably had it 3 years now.
It's still just sitting there. He hasn't tried to work on it or anything.
No, I think the reason he has it is because he knows he'll hurt himself on it. I'm pretty sure he even said that when I dropped it off.
That's like the one thing that's good about like small bikes, though, is that if you fall off, you're not falling very far. So
okay, yeah, but it is only on the road, so you're not going to fall into mud. You're gonna fall.
Well, I know, but if you're also not stupid and you wear like long sleeves and jeans and not shorts and flip flops, right? Like
Maybe,
you'd probably be okay. You're not going that fast on those things. So
depends. Depends on how many watts the motor is if it's electric.
That's
true.
There's
not a lot of room for batteries.
Not a lot of room on those things. So
yeah.
But so
then we actually went for an off-road trip on Saturday.
We did. So we had your parents side by side, the mule, Kawasaki mule, which is a 6-seater. We only had the front seat going.
The back. Yeah, you fold up the back to make the back bigger, and you lose the back row of seats. So it's a 3-seater then.
Yeah. Which left enough room for us to put some supplies in the back and the mini bike for our longer jaunts.
Yeah. So I just found some places on the map that looked interesting. My parents gave me a couple that they had been through as well. And we basically just drove.
Yeah. Go to that spot. That spot.
That reminds me, I never did get that map submitted on my computer yet. Totally forgot about that.
It's true.
Yeah.
I also need a copy of that map.
That's exactly why I need to at least get it on Google. I keep forgetting.
That's okay.
Because
do it later. Don't do it now. Get distracted.
Have you ever heard me say if I don't do it now, I'll never do it? I'll forget.
I can remind you after the show.
Can you?
Continue talking. It wasn't supposed to. It was supposed to rain, and then the probability dropped, and then there was a bit of chance of rain. And of course, that chance of rain is when I was riding the mini bike. So we had to quickly pull over and throw it in the back so I wouldn't get super soaked. Side by side is I wasn't expecting that much water to come up the windscreen and into the roof and then down, because my helmet was getting soaked. And so
I wasn't either, even though I've been on it in the rain. I don't think it was that much rain, or it was coming at a different angle. I'm not sure.
Might be coming somewhere else, yeah. Because every time I moved my helmet, all that water just funneled off my helmet right onto my crotch.
I saw it happen a couple times, and I'm just like, better you than me.
So just walking around with some wet pants, but it worked out. It thankfully the sun came out later, and I dried out for most of the day until later on. But
until later on, foreshadowing.
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, we hit some pretty good trails, and that's honestly that was the best part. Like we quickly realized the limitations of the mini bike being flat open road, not great. It does not want to go full tilt for that long. It's not super happy with it. But at lower speeds on the actual trails that were pretty technical, like I would say even if I was to take them on a dirt bike, I would be a little bit apprehensive of it, just because it's a lot of loose rock.
Yeah.
A lot of them are. So based on my experience with loose rock in the past, which hasn't been great on a dirt bike, I would have been, like I said, a little bit worried about it. But on the mini bike, for some reason, I didn't care. I would just like stand up on the pegs, which was a godsend, pin the throttle, and just hold on. And it would just take me. The mini bike is surprisingly capable off-road. I did not expect it to be nearly as good as it was. And some of those hills that I looked at, I'm just like, there's no way this mini bike is taking me up that thing. Because I'm over 200 pounds. And this thing just like, tick, 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 just tractors up this loose rock hill, and I just go up, and it's no big deal.
Yeah,
so
I only did the one trail.
Yeah.
On the mini bike. But I agree. It was good. Just felt like it was climbing everything. Like I said, I felt like it was going to start lifting the front end, but like you said, it probably was not going to be able to do that.
Yeah, probably not. Not foreshadowing, but later, like yesterday, I took the mini bike to go get it washed at my mother and father-in-law's place because they have a pressure washer. And so while it was drying, I was kind of like tooting around on it in their little cul-de-sac area, their little crescent. And they have a green space in the middle with a curb, so I could pop the curb. So I'd stand up on the pegs, and I'd kind of I'd pop the front end like I was going to do a wheelie and give it gas, so I could pop over the curb. And doing that, I could lift the front end, and I could get a little bit of a wheelie. I can't wheelie it, but that's about the only way you're going to get that front end to lift. It doesn't have enough power to lift the front end on its own without assistance. So,
okay.
But yeah, it was fun. The very last trail, I would, some of these trails we were going down, especially some of these hills that I was going down, I was a little bit worried because I only have a back brake. And it's not a very good back brake. But when you're coming down some of these hills, like I'm just like, Jesus, take the wheel. I can't. Just hold on and try not to crash. But like I said, standing up, everything made it way better because the bike can bounce around all at once. All I have to do is balance and hold on. And the bike just took the brunt of it. And it was fine. So despite everything we'd gone through that day, we hit this last trail and I'm just like, everything's good. Like this is easy. And then I don't know. I don't really know exactly what happened. We were recording at the time, but I think I tried to cross from one track to another and my back end just hit a mudslide and didn't want to cross over. And I just tumbled into a mud pile. And all the right side of me was covered in mud and I was wet and I had so much mud everywhere. It went up my shirt. It went down my pants.
Do you hear that beeping at all?
No, I don't hear any beeping.
All right. You continue.
As Derek just disappears. So yeah, after that, we did manage to find... We were trying to find this place to like take a picture. So that's where we took our picture. It was actually at the end of the day. Spoilers. And then we got to the end of it. That trail was actually so short. We came at that trail from we basically did it backwards. So I'll blame my fall on the fact that we're going backwards and not, doing the trail the proper way that we were supposed to. That's the only reason I fell. And that's the only reason, that's the trail that Derek did on the way back. And that's why he didn't fall, because he did it the proper way. Right.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah.
I did mind the reverse track, which is harder. It's like Mario Kart, right? When you do reverse, it's the same track, but it's just harder, right? So that's why I fell.
Sometimes it's easier.
No, it's not, Derek. It's harder.
I was gonna bring up at least the total distance we traveled here.
That would be good to know. Yeah.
That should be here. So 148 kilometers.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, it's more than I expected.
I should be converting that to miles for our American friends. What did I say? 148, 2 miles, 92 miles. We went in 7 hours. We were actually 1 minute short of 7 hours, but we also stopped to eat during that.
Yeah.
Max speed 79 kilometers an hour.
That's what the side by side was limited to.
Downhill. Average speed's only 21 kilometers an hour, but again, we stopped to eat.
Yeah.
Oh, average speed while moving they have in here as well is 31.
That was probably when we were on trails. We were doing.
Oh, that's 20. An average too.
I guess,
sometimes because of stop signs and stuff. Yeah. Pretty cool. Apparently we went up some elevation too, according to this.
Well, yeah, like I said, some of those hills were pretty intense.
Yeah.
A lot more than I expected them to be.
Yeah. Well, I shared that with you on...
yeah, I'm looking at it now.
Pretty cool. There was one spot we went back and forth 3 times. Do you remember that spot?
Was there?
The water crossing.
Oh, sorry, you went back and forth 3 times. I went once.
Yes, I went, and then Josh decided he was not going to try it on the mini bike. And then I came back for him, and then we went across it.
And there's video of that as well. Derek can post it if he wants to post it.
Yeah.
I'll leave that for him.
I got to find all that stuff.
It's all in the Google Drive.
I mean, my videos too.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, the one of my wipeout would be the last file on that session, because that's the last one I recorded. So.
Yes. Yeah.
If that makes things easier.
Yep. It's just a matter of grabbing it all. Like I said, I've been busy with a desk and.
It's true.
Yeah.
But yeah. Very. It was a good day. It was a long day, but it was good.
Yeah, I wasn't sure as well whether you were like expecting to come home late or early or what. So we kind of just winged it. Like the whole trip was a winged it. I planned the route there.
Yeah.
But then we had to stop for gas. And then we wouldn't have had to stop for gas, but my parents didn't remember to fill the Cowie, and I didn't remember to fill it ahead of time either. They normally just do that because they're nice. And then so that derailed us a little bit, but not much. And then we went up and around. So we went pretty far from their place anyway, considering we're on a freaking 4-wheeler driving.
Yeah.
But we tried to take gravel roads as much as possible. And there's no shortage of gravel roads up there.
No, that's true. That is very true. I would like to find some of those trails here, because now my view is changed, because every time we drove down a road, our key sign here was when we saw a sign that said no exit.
Mm-hmm.
And we would kind of look at each other and be like, we're going to find an exit. Like, there's an exit out here somewhere.
Part of that is because I had already checked them on the map.
Okay.
And saw that they were a real road and it had another side.
Okay.
So because I saw it had another side, or I even checked it on Google Maps as well. To check Street View. That there was another side and it was grown over. I don't think that type of thing exists near us. There's just too many people, too much population. Land is all owned by somebody around here.
Yeah.
I don't think that kind of thing is going to be easy to find, if at all.
Yeah.
But I would definitely be open to browsing some Google Maps and trying to find stuff like that.
Even if you could just find like one stretch that was decent and you could just keep going back. Like, so the difference being, like, on your side-by-side, like, your side-by-side is super capable. Like, super capable at everything you can do. Like, most of what you were doing.
There was not even one time where we actually challenged it.
No. We thought maybe the river crossing would be too much, but
that's just water depth. I wasn't worried about grip.
Yeah.
In some of those mud holes, you can't see the bottom. So I didn't know if we were going to like hit some really chewed up mud that lots of people have been in, or even just loose dirt, loose mud in there. So there were times where I put it in 4-wheel and didn't have to. And there were times where I did 4-wheel and the differential lock and I did not have to. But I just didn't want to risk getting stuck, since the only way to get it out was to step into the water, get the winch, get you to pull me or you to hook the winch up or whatever else.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to risk it, since that was our main form of transportation. And it's also a big beast.
It is big, yeah.
And it's also not very high up. It's pretty low considering
what it is. Yeah, it's a little bit low. So
yeah.
But yeah, when you look at terrain versus, like, when you're looking at terrain using the mule versus what I'm looking at terrain using the mini bike, it doesn't take much for me to get excited about it, because it's just like everything is an obstacle on a mini bike. Yeah. Whereas almost nothing is an obstacle for you in the mule, right?
Yeah, for me, it's more about I don't want the bottom to get hit by a rock. So I drive over the rock to avoid that, is pretty much the extent of it. Yeah. And I've got 2 wheels to worry about, but on the mini bike, you have a lot of options because you can just avoid stuff.
Yeah, I'm looking here, like, everything's an adventure. I can go this way, I can go that way. I go through the mud. Can I go around the mud? Can I hop that rock? Can I go around the rock? Like, there's just, it doesn't take much for it to be exciting. So. So that's why, like, I've got to find something like smaller scale around here that I can just go and do. So
yeah,
that'd be fun. Even yesterday, when on the way back from the washing the bike, I had my youngest with me. We have to go through a bit of a park. You don't have to, but we'd go through a bit of a park to get to the other side to avoid a main road. And there's signs there saying, no motorized vehicles, that kind of thing. But it's kind of, whatever. I mostly just stayed to the main trail, but this time going back, there was a foot trail, and I knew how capable the thing was. And I was like, I'm just going to go this way. So even with my son on, we followed this trail, and I was ducking under branches and blah, blah, blah. We just kind of worked our way around a different way and over some roots and some rocks. And so I was like, I just got to find something like this.
Yeah.
But I don't want to do it there because it's kind of in a residential, and I'll probably get the cops calling me if I stay there too long.
Yeah, making noise, right? Because it's not quiet.
I mean, it's pretty quiet. It just sounds like a lawnmower. You wouldn't tell exactly where it was unless you were in the park and saw it. it was just like, oh, that's a loud lawnmower over there. It just sounds like someone's mowing their backyard.
But. Yeah, I really think it's going to be hard to find anything like that because there's so many more people here.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm literally searching Google Maps right now.
I just got to find something, just something a little bit out of town. Like
you're not
Breslau or Baden or.
There used to be one in Breslau. And it just, so many people would off-road it that they closed it off.
Oh.
Yeah. It's just every time there is anything, that's what happens is it gets overpopulated, gets destroyed. People rip it up. People get stuck. I got a phone call from a friend who was stuck there one time for me to pull him out with my truck. So we're sitting there trespassing, going to get his truck out. And what do you know? Another truck was there stuck.
The best. So.
Yeah.
Well, I did find there is that place up in Listowel. I'm gonna go try at some point.
Listowel, where's that? Which one?
The one over by the fairgrounds. I told you about it. That old there's like a subdivision that they started building and then gave up on like 10 years, 4 or 5 years ago. 5 years ago, yeah.
Okay.
So, gotta go try over there. And it's a local spot. All the locals go there. So. Have to try it out.
Yeah, I'm in a few off-road groups on Facebook, and everybody just says there's nothing around KW, there's nothing around Toronto. Pretty much.
Got to make our own fun.
Yeah, well, buy some property
on it.
Yeah, or find someone you know that has property. That's the other thing.
Yeah. Well, that's where I'm. So this weekend, I'm going back up that way, kind of where we were. I'm going back up to Markdale.
Yeah.
And there's some land. They're going to stay at a place there that's got it's quite a big acreage up there. And I have been invited to bring the mini bike up to ride the trails. So that's what I'll be doing. I got a line on a GoPro session on Facebook. I'm gonna go see if I can grab that. So
nice. Yeah, I'm curious what that footage looks like too, because it was facing like towards your hands pretty good.
Yeah. So hopefully it can see. Hopefully it sees the mud hole that I hit because I want to know what happened.
Well, from what I could see from behind you when it happened, your wheel just slid.
Yeah, it didn't look like my back wheel climbed up over the rut that was there, and it slid left while I was going straight.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And that's that same thing as that other time when you almost fell but you caught yourself.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah. So. Oh well, we'll figure it out. Yeah, it was good. So thank you very much for inviting me. We'll have to do it again.
Yeah, but my parents said anytime.
That's good. And your parents are very nice. And I hope I didn't inconvenience them by staying over.
No, definitely not.
So
we stayed up late talking to them.
Yeah, way too late. I was falling asleep, and then you went back upstairs. Like, I don't know if I should stay up while you talk to them, or can I go to bed? And then you're just like, just go to bed. I'm like, oh, thank you.
Yeah. And then I came down and you were gone. I'm like, okay, he did go to bed then.
I was so tired. I'd been up
that was
working.
Like 10:30 in the morning. So
yeah, I'd been up working all day, right? And then
then I went to bed and I'm like, maybe I should have told him we should get up earlier or later than that because I told you 8:00 and I'm like, well, I don't know how tired he is. It's already 1:30.
That was all right.
I just went upstairs to check with my mom on the map, like what areas she suggests and if there's anything else that I was missing for places to go and stuff. So
yeah,
that was all. Yeah,
it worked out. It'd be fun to get a couple more people.
Yeah,
to go next time. And we had talked about taking our kids. To this, I don't think they would have had as much fun as we did.
Probably not.
So it's probably good that we went just ourselves.
Well, yeah, the water crossing isn't exactly something the kids they'd probably be scared, and then maybe.
I think my kids would probably think that was probably the most exciting part, to be honest.
Yeah. Okay.
It's the sitting on the road, just driving. Okay, we have to get to this spot.
Oh yeah, to get there. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wondered if that was gonna be boring for you, even because I'm like, I know where I'm going, but Josh is just staring at my GPS saying go here.
Yeah. Well, you forget that I drive around all day. That's basically what I do, right? So.
But do you find it fun?
Whatever. I'm in something that I'm not usually in, right? So it's cool. I can just, there's basically not a door on it. So
yeah. Yep.
That part of it's interesting. And it's almost like driving. this is just the thing. The steering wheel on it is a lot smaller than a regular steering wheel. So any input you have on it shifts the vehicle dramatically.
Yeah.
So it's when you're driving, at 75 kilometers an hour, and you make a little, twitch here and there, and the whole vehicle just starts jumping side to side, like, you actually have to concentrate while driving. You can't just drive it like a car. So
yeah. And the aggressive wheels, so you hit the dirt, you're gonna make a big mess, or kick stones up at the car beside you, or
and there's no side mirrors. There's only one mirror that my mini bike is blocking the view, so you're just guessing what's behind you.
We need to fix that problem next time, though. I meant to do that this time. I meant to have something, but I forgot all about it. I knew there was things I wanted to get for it, and I forgot what there was. I have a CB radio for it too, but my parents are like, no one uses CBs anymore.
No one uses CBs anymore. Yeah. You're just gonna get like a bicycle mirror and just stick it out the driver's side so you can see.
Literally, it'd be great if you had something that folded. Basically,
you could fold that in too. It's not.
Yeah.
That's all you need. Just something to see what was there. So yeah, good times.
Yeah.
I'm very much looking forward to see it again this week. I need to get some footage of this weekend so you can see what I'm dealing with. I don't know how good the trails are going to be, but
yeah,
it'll be fun.
And we still have to do a boat trip.
Yeah, I don't know if that's going to happen this year, but we'll try. Maybe next year.
Yeah, it might get too cold by the time we have time.
It's getting a little chilly. Yeah. We'll see.
If we don't go in the water, it's fine, but
yeah, depends on the day.
I just want an excuse to use my underwater drone that I forgot to bring.
Or what about your drone, your actual drone that you brought and we didn't use?
Yeah, there's that too.
Yeah.
So. Underwater drone would have been good at that water crossing.
Yeah, potentially. Yeah.
Although I could have got stuck in some of that, like lily pads and stuff. But
yeah, then you'd have to go swimming to get it.
I was super curious how deep that water was, though, because it looked like it got deep off to the side.
Well, you've marked on the map. You can go back and check it out.
Yeah.
Well, before we end, I beat some video games.
No.
We're a video game podcast. Sometimes.
Are we?
Sometimes.
You are a video game podcaster.
You play video games too. Come on.
I don't play much.
But you play some.
Hold on, I gotta last.
I gotta find all my screenshots here. So I don't do the just beat it's anymore because I'm not good enough to get on the list anymore. So I'm gonna call it out on my own podcast. My friends and I had a night and we beat Snipper Clips on Switch.
That's a good game.
It is very good. So must play. I'm actually going away for another guys weekend end of September. And it's been brought up and I said, you know what we're going to do? We're going to bring Snipper Clips. We're going to give it to a bunch of guys who have never played it. And us who have played it, we're going to sit back and drink beer and make fun of them. We're not going to help them in any way. We're just going to sit there and watch them struggle.
All right.
That will be fun.
That sounds like Twitch.
Basically. And the rest of the games I played, I've been playing on this thing. You may have seen me posted on Twitter. This is what I went to go get. My Anbernic RG35XX.
Okay.
This is my move to continue my emulation so I can get rid of my physical games. And this is what I've been playing all my games on recently, and it's been great. I can't afford, nor do I want to wait for an analog pocket. This is, I'm not going to say just as good, but it's sufficient enough for what I want it to do, and it does more. So, it's been great for playing like a lot of some of the Game Gear stuff I want to play, a lot of the Game Boy Advance games that I want to play. It plays up to PS1 pretty well, so it's that's been fun.
I did play a game. I just remembered.
Oh, see.
So I've been playing Tears of the Kingdom periodically. Mm-hmm. I don't know if did I talk about that with the cheats? I did, right?
I think, playing with cheats on Steam Deck, right?
Yeah. So I only did that once since then, but I've also been playing Arcade Paradise.
Okay, what's that one?
This game?
No.
So you are a kid whose father owns a laundromat, but your dad goes away and he puts you in charge of the laundromat, and you decide, hey, I could probably put an arcade in the back here. So you just keep running the laundromat to make money to pay for an arcade in the back.
Arcade. Okay.
Yeah. And then the arcade starts making enough money that you don't need the laundromat anymore, kind of thing.
Okay.
So, but it's a first person game, and they make all the mundane tasks into games. So like every morning you come in, the place is dirty. So you pick up garbage, and they make the picking up garbage kind of fun with fun, like arcade game sounds and stuff. And once you pick up enough garbage, you have to throw the bag of garbage into the garbage bin outside. And that is a mini game. You have to aim and go with the right power, kind of like a golf game, that kind of thing. And then when you're picking gum off the chairs, that's the same thing. There's a power meter that just goes up and down, and you have to time it right to get the most power. And when you do, you get bonus money. And I don't think there's points, but bonus money essentially.
Yeah.
Is all you're getting. So it's like found secret when you get full, and you get like an extra $30-$40 for just picking the gum off good. And then you also get bonus.
Pick that gum real good.
Yeah. And you get bonus. So you got to find the gum as well as part of the thing. You got to find where people put gum around. Just as you're walking around, you might just see it and be like, oh, there's some gum, clean it up. And I think people like the place more and come more if it's clean. And then there's a lock safe in the back corner where you put your money every time you want to put the money into your bank to buy arcade machines. And every time you go to the safe, the combination's different. And it's a mini game to unlock the combination every time.
Okay.
Yeah. So just try and make it fun. There's a toilet cleaning game where it's, again, a game to clean the toilet, to keep the toilet sparkly clean.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the arcade machines themselves you can play. And then you also have to go around, pick money out of the machines to collect.
Are they licensed games that you play, or are they just...
No, they're like made up knockoffs. Like one looks like it's supposed to be a GTA. One of them's like Tetris, but it's just stacking boxes in a warehouse. Like, yeah. And then there's an air hockey one as well. It's pretty fun.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool. Arcade Paradise is the game. It's pretty fun. I forget where I got it. Probably some deal is my guess.
Yeah.
And I've played apparently... Well, no, that's not even wrong, because I use a tool to unlock trading cards in Steam, so that won't be accurate. But yeah, probably like over 4 hours for sure in it. It says much more, but that's not right. I also played the WrestleQuest demo.
Ah, yes, I heard about this.
I did not enjoy it.
That's the sentiment I've been hearing. That's the sentiment I've been hearing.
Yeah.
I'm not an RPG guy, really, so...
You said you thought you heard it on Giant Bomb or something?
Giant Bomb or Fire Escape.
Okay.
Yeah. Dan Reichert's been talking. He didn't like it very much. And that's the game like tailor-made for him, right? So. Yeah.
Another one I played, this was just more casual, but I had a lot of fun with it. Gene Shift Auto. It's like top-down old school GTA, but if it was a battle royale.
Okay.
So you're like picking up guns, you can get money, you kill other people, the circle is closing in to make the map smaller and smaller.
Yeah.
And it's just a quick, like fun few minutes for each round. And apparently I've played 4.5 hours of that, or 3.5 hours of that. And it's fun. I was kicking ass too.
It's always going to find a game you're good at.
Yeah, that might also be helping too. I went back and played RoboCraft a while ago too, which was like a old free-to-play 2 teams against each other, try and take over the points like on the map and take control of the map.
Okay.
But your vehicles you play in are built by you. You put down every single piece of the vehicle, and it's made out of blocks, kind of like Minecraft, but smaller blocks.
Mm-hmm.
And you put guns on them. And I tried it out again because I hadn't played it for so long, and it actually died a while ago, and they brought it back. But they've changed it so much, it's just not as satisfying anymore. It's hard to make a good vehicle. Still neat, but yeah. I think that's the last thing I've actually played.
Fun.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the first game that I beat on my my Anbernic device here was a Alien versus Predator, the arcade game, because it has arcade ports.
Really good things of.
It's very good. It's a little bit longer. Like I thought the game was going to end, and then there was like 3 more levels after that. So, but still very good. I just played as the Predator the whole time because Predator's cool. So that's been good. Then what have I been playing? A Game Gear game that I played a ton when I was a kid. I remember beating when I was a kid. But I was like, let's see if I can do this again. The game's all way easier now that I'm older because I actually can strategize, especially now that I've played a lot of Tetris. This game's really easy. It's called Baku, which is kind of a strange name, but it's basically like it's kind of like Tetris, where there's 2 blocks that fall. There's 4 different animals and 4 different types of food. So there's like dog, monkey, panda, and rabbit. And those all have corresponding food. So like carrots, bamboo, bone, and what was the other one? Banana.
Okay.
And so you have to put the bananas with the monkeys, and then the monkey eats the banana and disappears. So and then those blocks fall. And so if you can combo them all together.
Matching, but you're correlating, right?
Like you're correlating them together. So if you have a big block of bananas, right, you can stack them all together, and then you get a monkey to drop. You drop it on the monkey, he eats all the bananas. The more you can eat and combo, and then any blocks that were there, they fall down, and then if something else falls, you can combo, right? Like suddenly a carrot falls on a rabbit, and the rabbit eats it, that kind of thing. You're in competition with the computer, so the more you eat, it's kind of like Tetris Attack. The more you eat, that drops more junk on their screen. The idea to fill the screen up, and then they lose, or vice versa. They drop stuff on you, you lose.
Okay.
So yeah, I played that. It is a lot easier, like I said, now that I'm older, because I can see more. But definitely, it's fun. I was addicted to it for like over a week. I just kept playing the game over and over and over and over and over and over and over. I even played it when I was camping.
States, or like you can sleep it or anything like that.
Yeah, you can. I don't think this one has it doesn't have a sleep option. It sleeps, but it stays on.
Okay.
It just shuts the screen off, that kind of thing.
Okay.
So it's still like it eats your battery almost as fast as if it was fully on. You can change the firmware on it. Like you can change the operating system or the firmware.
Oh.
You can put a whole different OS on it that allows you to use sleep mode and things like that. I just haven't got into it. I've been pretty happy with it just as is for what I needed to do. So I don't really care about sleep mode. I'll just turn it off, right? Like it takes 10 seconds to turn back on.
Yeah, if there was like a game that had like long loading or you had to play one long, like an arcade version of that game instead of Game Gear. If it was arcade and you have to like play a long session, then it'd be nice if there's some way to stop it.
Yeah, but I can save state at any point and then just turn it off, right? So I don't really care. So that's been good. I've been playing that at camping, like I said. And then when I was done that game, there was another game that I've been wanting to play. This isn't the Game Boy Advance games that I thought I would play, because I thought I was going to play CT Special Forces. That's one that I really wanted to try. But there's another game you may have heard of called Ninja 5-0.
Yeah, I had a reproduction of it.
Did you? Okay, because that game was that's like a $350 to $400 cart.
Yeah.
Only, right?
I did a garage sale, and I thought it was legit.
Oh, because that would have been sweet.
But I didn't pay a lot for it. But I did pay more than I would have if I had known it was a reproduction.
Yeah.
I'm gonna search my spreadsheet.
Anyways, been playing. I just kind of jumped in just to test it out, and I got hooked. It's been a while since I've been feeling like I wanted to play a game, and I just kept playing it over and over and over. Not like playing it over, but like I kept going back at it. It's hard, but it's fun, and you have to beat it at different difficulty levels to unlock the full game. So you play easy, you only get like the first 3 missions. Play it on normal to complete the game. And those bosses are pretty tough, but it is really fun. Not worth $350 to $400. No game is worth that much.
So
but
I found Tactics Ogre, Complete, Rock and Roll Racing with manual, Ninja 5-0 with manual, Golden Sun with manual, all at a garage sale. And I paid $5 for all of them.
Oh, wow.
They were all reproductions. And this is in 2016.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, $5 isn't bad for a reproduction, to be fair, but
yes, that's correct. I just didn't know they were reproductions.
yeah. What did you do with them?
I sold them all to Good Time Games.
And they knew they were reproductions?
Yes, I made them aware. They said, "Yeah, that's fine. We sell reproductions sometimes. As long as we label it, we're fine."
Oh, okay.
I think they put it on the shelf for like $30 each.
Okay.
Let's see how much I sold them to them for. $6 for the first one, $6 for the second one, $11 for Ninja 5.0. Oh no, that's profit. $7, $8, $12, $5.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I saw them put Ninja 5.0 for $30 or something. That's a long time ago when the old owner owned it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. Ninja 5.0, I can recommend. Actually, you should play. It's fun. If you like platformers.
You should just play it.
Yes, don't buy it, but play it any way you can. Don't buy it unless I sell it. Then buy it for me. So I had to beat it twice. I beat on easy and then realized it ends and say complete on normal to get the rest of the game. Okay. All right, fine. So I had to go back in and
this CT Special Forces looks exactly like
it kind of looks like Metal Slug.
Yeah.
But Metal Slug is more chaotic, like it's just constant shooting, whereas CT Special Forces is a little bit more tactical. Like you have a finite ammo. You have to know when to shoot things. You have to duck behind cover to come up and shoot sometimes enemies, or use grenades on vehicles. Or if there's an enemy you can't get, you got to know like where to throw the grenade, that kind of thing. So it's a bit more methodical.
This guy's not even shooting anybody in this long play.
It's fun. I've beaten the first couple missions of it, and it is really fun. I just haven't gone back to it.
It looks like a lot of memorization to me.
It can be, but once you know, like, I'm not saying once you know, but like once you have an idea of like how each weapon works, you can be able to look at a situation and be like, oh, I have to do this. I have to do this.
Okay.
Yeah.
So ammo isn't necessarily scarce then. Because that's what I'm worried about. Is it's really scarce and you have to memorize where everybody is. You die, you start again.
It's not that difficult.
Okay.
If you run around just shooting like you were a Metal Slug, then yes, you'd run out of ammo. But if you know that enemy takes 3 bullets, you shoot 3 times at him and then you stop. Right? Like it's you don't just sit there and hold down the fire button until they drop dead and then realize that you just emptied half a clip to get there.
That sounds fun.
And then I beat one more game.
So many games.
I know. I'm telling you, man, having this thing revolutionized how I play, because I could just pick it up and play wherever.
No analysis paralysis, like say people get when they have a collection of emulated games.
Like you just have too many and you can't decide.
You play nothing, yeah.
Yeah. I thought it is kind of like that, but I do find myself just kind of jumping in and trying something. And being like, yes, no, yes, no. And some of these games I've wanted to play for a long time, such as this one. I had the physical cart for this. I sold it at Toronto, I think, the Toronto show.
Oh.
Which I still need to buy tables for that, actually, soon.
Are you doing Barry? I didn't even...
I don't think I'm going to do this Barry. It's too rushed for me right now. But I will do the Toronto show. Anyways, Rocket Knight Adventures. For the Sega Genesis.
Cartridge Club episode on it.
Is there? Okay. I need to go back and listen to that one then. Really quite fun. It's a lot longer than I expected it to be. And probably wouldn't have beat it without save states, because some of those bosses were tough to figure out the patterns. Once you figure it out, you're okay. But I'm not Q-Dog. I'm not doing a Q-Dog beat where I have to beat it legit. You know what? I beat it with save states. I'm happy. I didn't save scum like as bad as I could have. I did, I would save at the beginning of a boss fight. That kind of thing.
Season 2.
Oh, way early then.
3. So November 2014. So
wow.
Episode 15.
That's like almost 10 years ago.
Yeah. This is, we're coming up on season 11 next. After Escape is done, it's now season 11.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Nuts.
It is nuts.
Anyways, so now that I've had this Anbernic thing, it's not quite. It's very handy for like I said, all the GBA stuff, handheld stuff, arcade stuff is good. But next is like, I kind of wanted to play, maybe some N64 or GameCube or, some games that. But now it's trying to find a device that can do all those things and not break the bank. There's a couple options I've seen out there, but I just haven't.
And you want handheld for those?
That ideally, yeah.
I think you're gonna have a hard time finding something that does N64's controls well,
yeah,
and is handheld. But that's just me trying to picture it.
Yeah, like there's things like so my options right now are like the Retroid Pocket 3 Plus.
Okay.
I don't know. It looks kind of like a Switch Lite, basically. Okay. Maybe a little bit smaller. That does okay N64 stuff. Then there's like, if you want to go more, you can do like the Iron Odin. Like the thing is like, this is where my analysis paralysis comes in. Is like, there's so many options for emulation devices. I don't know which one to go. I could go straight to Steam Deck and just have no issue at all. But then you're spending, $500-$600.
It's bulky.
Yeah, it's not portable. It's not as portable as I want it to be. This thing fits in my pocket. And that's why I like it.
Mine's here somewhere.
Yeah, I know.
I had to move it to rearrange the room. I don't remember where I moved it. Should probably find that. Yeah, I would almost say ask someone like Steven Eider, who's been playing for a while.
And I know he has one of these as well, which is one of the reasons I knew he had it. His picture reminded me, I'm like, oh, you can just buy these on Amazon. So,
okay.
I bought mine on Amazon. Like, I think it's like to buy this from like Anbernic's website. I think it's like $60 US. Okay. Then once you do the conversion plus the shipping and the tax and stuff like that, it comes out to like the difference between buying it there versus on Amazon and getting it next day is like a $5 to $10 difference. So I was like, I just bought it on Amazon and I get it right back and I can return it if I don't have an issue.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or if I have an issue, right? So
yeah. I know what you meant.
Yeah. So I did that. And I've been happy with it.
It's good. Happy is good.
But now, yeah, like I said, looking at different options for different systems. Like I probably will still keep playing like Game Boy and stuff on this. And the arcade stuff, it does perfectly fine. PS1, it's a little bit cramped. So, yeah, we'll see. And I also, some of the PS1 emulation is not quite as good. So, and I only know because I've been playing the games on my PS Classic, my modded PS Classic.
Yeah.
And if I'm playing them on this, it's just like, oh, I don't have the music isn't playing, or the sound effect isn't playing. It doesn't break the game, but it's just like, it's not quite perfect. Yeah. So, yeah, we'll see.
Well,
that's it.
I found the GoPro footage. I'm getting that. This is the one from your view. Of course, the GoPro Hero for the Session 5 thought the date was 2015.
No, whatever. Yeah.
January 1st, 2015. Yeah, but we'll get it off.
That's all fine. Well, is that an episode? We're almost at 3 hours. We've managed to stretch this pretty far for mostly movie talk.
Yeah, off-road took a while.
Yeah.
Games.
Movies. Mostly movies. I still want to do, it'd be fun to do either the, we talked about in the car. One of the biggest obstacles when we've been hanging out for the weekend is like, okay, we can't talk about most of the stuff because it's going to come up on the podcast. We're trying to like skirt around certain topics. No one talked about.
There were for sure, but
we brought up the Nicolas Cage heads, but we didn't bring up any movies. So, but we did talk about like potentially doing where I would like to do like a top 100 games for myself. I don't know if you want to be involved in that or not, but that would be okay. Fine.
I've done it once before. I don't want to do it again.
Or like top 100 like personal movies, that kind of thing. Top 100 movies. That would be fun. It would be fun to get like, I don't know if the Retro Fandango boys are interested in doing top 100 movies, but that
they don't listen to us.
No, I know they don't, but it'd be fun to just to do like an online exercise and kind of like share 5 at a time kind of thing on Twitter or something.
Yeah, I could not choose my top 100 movies at all. I'm so neutral on so many movies. I don't have an opinion, good or bad, for the most part. I have a lot of movies that I hate, but other than that, I don't really. It can be good, and I wouldn't be able to rank it.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, maybe it's just something that I'll do it myself, but it's just something I've been thinking about.
You're a movie buff.
I know. I wouldn't call myself a buff.
You're the expert. You're the
not even that
recommendation expert. You're the Fandango official.
Okay, that is true. That is true. Yeah. So I'm gonna dial you into my secret here. I've been listening to I've been watching a show on YouTube called Cinefix, a channel called Cinefix. Okay. They're recently bought out by IGN. We talked about this on the weekend.
Okay.
But they have a podcast where they talk about their personal top 100 movies. So it's gotten me into the bug of, okay, I'm going to do this. And they kind of the same as like the Bonus Barrel, where they all kind of, they each put it on a list, if it's on the list at all. And then they take the average, and that's where it sits on their top 100. So same kind of deal. What they do in their podcast, which you might appreciate, Derek, is they have a section in their podcast said, how could Nicolas Cage make this movie better?
Yeah.
Right? So what character would you recast as Nicolas Cage, and what era of Nicolas Cage would you cast?
Okay.
So, yeah, it's a pretty fun segment.
I listened to Tyler and Dave, Tadpog, Tyler and Dave play old games.
Yeah.
And they have a segment where they do a game every week. They play an SNES game every week.
Okay.
It's randomly picked. But at the end, they always say, how is this game like a movie? Or how is this game like and they've been saying a Nicolas Cage movie for a while now.
Okay.
He has to pick one. Or they had, how is this like a Corey Feldman movie, I think, or which movie is this like Corey Feldman's? And they do that with Nicolas Cage too, which is pretty good. And I've had examples where I'm like, no, it's this movie. You guys haven't seen this movie of Nicolas Cage's. I can't remember what it was now, but I'm like, it's definitely like those times where I'm like, that would have been a better answer, but they just don't know the movie.
Yeah, that's funny. The one I listened to today was they did Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Okay.
Which I need to watch that movie again because it's been a long time and I do like it. But their section was like, okay, now who do we cast? Who did we cast as Nicolas Cage? Who's he going to be? And their answers were pretty good.
Oh, it's the bad guy.
They said that's the generic answer. That's what everyone's going to say. Dr. Doom or Judge Doom at the end. That's who you make Nicolas Cage. And then the one guy said, yes, that's the generic answer that everyone's going to say. He said the real answer is the baby.
Oh, the baby.
Just have him.
I was going to say the detective guy, like the main.
No. You can't replace Bob Hoskins. But to have him, very
different movie. Though.
It would have been a very different movie. But to have him voice the baby, Baby Herman or whatever at the beginning of the movie.
But the face needs to look like his face too.
No, they should just voice and just have him over the top, angry, complaining about. I'm like, yep, that's a good answer. Yep.
I did watch that movie again. I don't know, like 5 years ago, but I feel like I still don't remember it well enough.
Oh, I got it. That's the thing is like having listened to these podcasts, I want to watch the movies again. And there's some of them that they're talking about that I haven't watched. So I'm going to watch the movie first and then listen to the podcast. So I'm not listening to them in order. Mm-hmm. And it's a pretty new podcast. They only have like maybe 8 to 10 episodes out. So it's a good one to jump in now and not be too far behind. So, and they're only an hour. So it's pretty quick. And they have good discussion.
So,
anyways, that's my
a new one too.
That's my, if you want to know how all my, my recommendations, how I get them is I've been watching Cinefix for years and I go through, they have like top 10 sci-fi or underrated sci-fi movies or whatever. And so I go through those lists and I pick movies out and I watch them, and those are the ones that I'm recommending people. So it's not me coming up with those lists. It's just me, I don't know, regurgitating other people's lists, but also taking the best of their list, because there are some movies that they recommend that I just don't like.
Okay.
But I am cherry picking the ones that I like and then re-recommending those to other people. So that's the trick. Yeah, that's it. I'm also considering streaming more regularly. I think, did we talk about this on the weekend?
Yeah, you briefly did. And I said, I'd love to too, but
okay, that's true.
I don't play games.
And I think maybe that's why I want to do it, because I don't do YouTube anymore. And I just kind of feel like I want a little bit more interaction with some people. Like the podcast is good, but it also is, we're not getting a whole lot of interaction online. Mm-hmm. So it'd be fun to, like, if I had something where I could interact and then point people to the podcast as, you know, if you want to hear more about me, go here. That kind of thing, generate something. Yeah. But I need to find, I actually talked to my wife about it last night. I'm like, I need to pick a day, because if I don't pick a day to do it, I'm not going to do it.
Yep. That's how I was too.
So
like when we got married, I played games like 3 nights a week at least, like all night long. And she was just bored. And we didn't have a schedule. She eventually told me, like, no, this isn't working. I'm like, oh yeah, I guess I never really thought about that. I just kind of did what I did before.
Yeah. Oh, right. There's another person.
We eventually decided on Thursday nights, and that's the way it's been for 15 freaking years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, the talk right now, I'm debating between like Friday night and Sunday night. Friday night is probably not a great night because it's super busy in terms of streaming. Like a lot of people stream on Fridays. I don't know how many people stream on Sunday, but I think like it might be a better night because people will be at home getting ready for Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Just want to have something on, not something too serious. Maybe we'll see. I don't know how entertaining I'll be, but hopefully I'll get better at streaming at some point. But I just need to, like I said, pick a day, have the night where my wife will also say, you can do this, and not expect me to do something else.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't just make a decision and it be mine. Suddenly I'm like, oh, it's your turn to, do laundry or something like that. But the idea would be later. It would be like 9:00 Eastern or something like that. So it would be after the kids are in bed. Everything should be done for the night.
Why does my camera keep flickering? You see that?
I see that. I'm not sure what's going on. But.
I don't know what it's flickering through. I think it's a Chrome problem because it's flickering to like my other Chrome tab or something.
Oh, close your porn so I don't see it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's of you.
Dang it. You put me in the room with cameras at your parents' house. I see that. Yeah,
of course. Every room has cameras.
That explains it.
Which room do you want?
That's true. They came there. It's like, what do you want? The pink room? Do you want the blue room?
Yeah. They have several guest bedrooms.
Anyways, that does it for me. What about you?
Yeah, you haven't stretched it to 3 hours yet, though.
Close enough. By the time I put the intro and the outro, it'll be fine.
Yeah. I'd love to start streaming as well, but every time I have in the past, it's been me and maybe one other person watching, and that's it. Yeah. So I've lost any motivation to do anything like that. Yeah. Let alone I'm not consistent in schedule, and
and that's the thing is I just
don't want to watch either.
I just got to try. And do it. I did it a while back, like when I had guys hangouts. I did it like streaming. Mm-hmm. I did that for about 6 or 8 months, like every Friday night. That's true. Not our streams you did you? Those were like 3 to 4 hours.
Yeah, most of them.
Oh geez. So, but yeah, it's a different dynamic in a group versus solo. And, having listened to Steve Blinkum say basically he just started doing it and it started slow and you eventually got a following, and it just seems like fun just to have some people to talk to. And
yeah, see, thinking about it, the setting up and getting all the equipment ready and all that stuff deters me, and I feel like it needs to be something that you just flick a switch and it's ready.
Yeah.
Not something you have to set up your background or clean up, or even configuring which monitor is that. Something that simple is enough to be like, nah, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
Because technical issues and all that crap.
Yeah. And that's basically
part of the reason why. It's part of the reason why I set up a second computer to do the streaming from. So that none of my streaming settings need to change. I just do HDMI out to the other computer.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I would probably just do the same thing here. I have my HDMI ready to go, and I would just open OBS, and I wouldn't change cameras or whatever. I would just play on this monitor and have my thing and just go. And I would just hit go, and that's it. Like, I don't want to make it does it again.
Yeah, camera's being weird. I don't know what it is, whether it's the camera
it's giving us the chop time to cut this out.
We have 7 seconds.
7 seconds. Keep counting down. Keep counting down. All right, we've stretched this to 3 hours now. So, thank you everybody for listening.
Sorry, not sorry.
It's not the name of our podcast.
It's the name of the episode. Sorry, not
sorry, not sorry. Yeah. All right, everybody. We'll see you next month.